Let's meet our heroes here. And I'm going to go in the order in which you are on my screen, which should be the order they are on everybody's screen now due to the wonders of techno wizardry. And start with you, Christina.
Oh, me. Well, that's weird. Hi. My name's Christina Ariel, and I play Ariza. She's an Aasimar cleric bard.
Hang on.
And she's also a red panda right now.
Hang on 1 second. I swear I heard myself coming through there, but I'm looking at the stream and I'm still seeing the pre-stream.
It was my laptop. It was my laptop. You weren't hearing things. It was my laptop.
No, but even as I'm looking at the screen, I'm not seeing us. Hang on. I'm refreshing. Hold on, everyone. Let me just make sure that you can actually see us. And of course, it's the world's longest reload now of Twitch being like, what? There we are. Yes, we can. I don't know why. I was still seeing the pre-screen on a loop. Please proceed, Miss Ariel.
Hi, my name is Christina Ariel, and I play Ariza. She's an Aasimar cleric bard, and she is currently a red panda because Bubbles is rude, and she, instead of her wings, now has 7 tails and a cool little hoodie that fits around her face and a bow tie because bow ties are cool.
It's the bow tie that sets it over. It's the bow tie that sets it over the top. Mr. Mark Meir.
Hello, I'm Mark Meir. I do voices in video games, and one of the voices I did was Mr. Bailoth Baratil, aka Bailoth the Entertainer, a drow sorcerer and proprietor of the Black Pits, the finest and most gruesome gladiatorial combat the Underdark has to offer. Bailoth is not in his usual attire either, also thanks to Bubbles, the Hull of it. He is currently, one could say, doing a bit of an homage to Jareth the Goblin King, as portrayed by David Bowie in the movie Labyrinth. So he has, the big spiky white hair, probably a very noticeable bulge in his tights, and he's also currently being followed by a major image of all of the goblins from Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm. A legally distinct homage.
Legally distinct homage. Yeah. Yes, of course.
Important point of
goblins from a labyrinth.
From a labyrinth.
From a labyrinth. Yes,
anywhere.
A maze of some sort.
Right,
and
true.
Of course, now I do not, unlike Christina, I do not have access to a costume that really mirrors what Bailoth is wearing, but I do have this. Remember the Goblin King? He has that little mask and a stick. So there's that.
That is true.
I got that.
It's like
and you
we're
just
there.
pulled that off your wall, right?
I just pulled that off the wall.
That's awesome. Is that a Frank? Frank the Bunny?
No, it's not. It's very reminiscent of him, but it's some sort of just demon skull.
Oh, yeah, it's a skull. Okay, cool. Very cool.
I thought you were just like, I just kill something in the backyard and tuck it in ritual combat like it's mine now.
Yeah. I mean, these are all my trophies. Yeah.
It's true. There can be only one. Aaron.
I am Erin M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga, and I am playing Havalar, who is a tiefling glaive fighter. Who is currently attired in the fanciest of dresses, a big ball gown version of the strawberry dress, which has been modified by 2 well-applied slashes of the glaive so she can kick things.
Always important. Adam.
I am Adam Bradford, the CDO at Demiplane, and I am playing Briv Steelmarrow, and apparently Briv doesn't even know who this Bubbles is, but he is a big fan of Bubbles because Bubbles made a dream come true, and that is Briv is currently attired in a jester's cap, a sleeveless, that's very important, sleeveless. I don't even know what you would call this, but it's got the frilly thing around the neck, purple and gold colored, and he has some very puffy pants that cut off at the knees where his calves shine through very appropriately, and he's got some golden buckled purple ridiculous shoes. By the way, my son actually has some of those shoes, so I could cosplay that, but I don't have them yet. The full costume is on the way, I promise you. So you will see that one day, but not tonight.
I gotta admit, when Christina showed up with the kigurumi, in my heart, I was like, do I dare to hope that Adam is gonna just sit down with a jester's hat on?
Amazon couldn't make it happen quickly enough. So.
All right,
we'll see.
And last but certainly not least, Jen.
Hello, I am Jen Kretchmer. I am a performer, director, producer, writer. I'm one of the writers on Candlekeep Mysteries, the newest book from D&D Beyond that came out last week, and I am playing Alindra. Alindra is an elf. She also has a couple of friends with her. She has her blue dragon friend Grant, who you can currently pick up on Idle Champions right now, and the proceeds will go to the Grant Imhar Steam Foundation. And then we also have Griff, her very judgy owl familiar, who is currently attired in a tuxedo and top hat, which just emphasizes the shadow of the judgment brows. Alindra is normally attired in the garb of a cleric wizard, which is she's a diviner. But thanks to Bubbles, Alindra is currently wearing a very bright magenta ball gown with a corset, and kind of a Victorian-ish updo thing. And it's not a great look against her blue hair and skin.
Or it's a fantastic look. Yes.
Or it's a fantastic look.
Or it's a fantastic
Depends
look.
on
She
one's
feels a bit
perspective.
like formal wear Barbie right now, I think. Whatever the Faerunian equivalent is.
I feel like there's a certain vibe that each of you could be located in Bubbles' toy chest. Yeah, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But you look fancy, so...
We turn into that Twilight Zone episode in the circle, the cylinder.
Again, in a
Like
legally distinct
legitimate
manner.
Twilight.
Yeah.
And I was like, the prom scene?
We do not speak of
Do
such
that too.
things. In
Legally
this house.
distinct.
Exactly. I'm like, I will mute this stream. Yes, legally distinct. Also, if you did not get a chance to see that art, you should check out Luke McKay's art of one of the scenes from last week, where they all described that very quickly, and Luke captured it rather astonishingly. Also, shout out to our homie, friend of the show, Trevor Bettis. Freely's parrot Trievor is wearing a tiny suit of armor. Was his ask for how Trievor would look fancy. So little helmet, little breastplate, still can fly though. You know, as one does. Fantastic. All right. So, again, as you all know, your votes in Idle Champions directly affect the flow of the stream. So tonight, thanks to you, the winner of the D6 inspiration to all rolls will be Briv. So, Briv, anytime you roll a D20, take a D6 and add to it. Also, thanks to you, Alindra will receive the inspiration on her roll. Is going to be a luck die, which you can replace, because that was what Alindra needed, was the opportunity to replace yet another roll.
Always.
So there you go. You essentially have 3 portents today, but one of them is just a straight luck die.
I have foreseen this and that and that and this and that.
And additionally this. Yes. Also,
This is a surprise. It's like reading a book.
Exactly. Again, the vote for next week's episode will begin immediately after this episode. So once we're done, log into Idle Champions, weigh in, and you can get some great perks for yourself. Also tonight, we're giving away 2 Idle Champions chess codes. The first one, which again really does sound like somatic components, is Griff Judges with an exclam, because I guess Griff Judges is a little too short, which breaks down to Griff Fajud Geessa. There you go. I'm gonna summon food and water with that. So Griff Judges with an exclamation mark is your first Idle Champions code, and we will give away the second one after the break. Speaking of after the break, I was gonna say this later, but there's a non-zero chance I will forget, so I'm just gonna tell you now. I have a very special surprise for you after the break. Even the cast doesn't know what's going to happen, because it's a surprise for them too. But stick around. After the break, I have something you're really going to enjoy. Also, we're giving away new unreleased Icons of the Realm Boneyard standard booster boxes. Again, I have these myself. I posted a picture of them on my Twitter. They're incredible. They're going to be coming out at the end of this month, by the way. But tonight, 3 of you are going to be able to win some tonight. So mods, please drop the link in chat, and we'll announce the winners at the end of the episode. Again, Alindra is available to join your formation, as is Pirate Havilar, Baloth, Ariza. Let me check my list to see what else came out this week.
Pirate Alindra too.
Pirate Briv.
With the judgiest. Yeah, Pirate Briv. We got so many awesome.
Pirate Alindra, Pilot Briv, and this weekend, Pirate Freely is part of the Hook and Smite and Freely weekend. Yes, thank you. So yeah, also, if you guys are liking this show, help support it by getting the Idle Champions costumes for the characters of your choice. And let's be honest, pirate costumes are self-validating. And also, if you want new costume skins of these looks, maybe make it known. Maybe tweet at Idle Champions saying that, these looks need to be immortalized in Idle Champions. I don't know.
Chester Briv, yes. Please,
I'm just saying. I can't make them do anything, but they listen to the will of the people. And with that, on with our adventure. Now, normally,
question.
Who has a what? Sorry. Yes.
I just have one question before we get started, and
Yes.
I'm really excited about this, and I don't mean to cut you off, but is your surprise an egg salad sandwich?
It is excellent.
Oh, I just really want an egg salad sandwich, and I was hoping that was your surprise. That's all.
I mean, I was gonna say it's not that, but it's literally not that. But
So you're
There
saying
was a
you
good
can tell me.
chance.
So
Right.
if it's not an egg salad sandwich, then you should tell me now what it is.
I could, but that would ruin the surprise. So, I'm building anticipation. Now, normally I draft our recaptain beforehand, but this time we didn't talk about it. So do we have a volunteer for the recaptain for last episode? And in this unique special time, I will accept a group recaptain. I will accept a community effort of what happened last week as well.
Shall we all pitch in together?
Aye.
Very well.
Think so?
Now, as I recall, we disembarked, that would be Ariza, Havilar, and myself, from a submarine which was manned by my fellow drow. They very kindly dropped us off at another remote seaside village, which was also having a festival of fools. As a matter of fact, everyone was brightly costumed. There seemed to be a lot of public drinking going on, and the city guards were not interfering. We found ourselves going into a nearby inn, and I think that's where I'll turn things over to Briv, because that's where we met Briv and Alindra, and there was a drinking contest involved, was there not? I'll be back when it's time to describe the illusion.
There were drinks aplenty, and Briv Steelmarrow, as he oft does, was winning. And then he got challenged again by a newcomer that was someone named Havilar, and Havilar sat down, and I smote her ruin upon the picnic table side in the drinking contest. At least that is how I remember it happening. And then I really don't remember much after that, so we are going to have to popcorn Havilar.
I feel like I still kind of won because I was feeling very good. Except then we heard Freely yelling, and we ran to go find out what was happening. We ran into a guy who talked about a horse on fire and mixed my dog up with a horse on fire. But when we got to the alley, Freely had a cute little red panda and was trapped by a bunch of dogs. And then Bailoff did something bananas.
Oh, yes. Well, everyone seemed to be down on the idea of simply incinerating the mangy curs, and, well, I'm a team player, so I decided that an illusion might be best. And what an illusion it was! An entire horde of red pandas, clad in top hats, waving strings of wieners and pork chops hither and yon, with the accompanying smells, of course. The dogs took the bait and chased after my illusionary red pandas, who promptly put on their top hats, got on unicycles, and rode away. Now, once they had been disposed of, we encountered, well, something of a celebrity, or at least a celebrity impersonator, a mad mage to be certain, and in fact, he was claiming to be the mad mage, Hallister Blackcloak. He summoned a few fiends for us to deal with.
Indeed, and fiends don't belong where we were, so we decided to dispatch with them immediately. A few banishments, a few different spells, and a few convenient bonks to the head. Also, one was enlisted in your service, I believe, Bailoff.
Oh, yes, yes. I did manage to pick up a trio of quasits, as I recall. Sadly, we found they couldn't remain in our presence because Havilar has something of an allergic reaction to the abyss. So I instead gave them some documentation and sent them to go work in the Black Pits. I've got quite a number of residents of the lower plains working in my establishment, and they'd fit right in as ushers. So that's where they are.
Thou didst forget that Briv jumped off of the flaming dog creature high into the air, higher than probably any mortal has ever leaped, and slammed one of the, I believe it was spined or spiny or spineless, I don't know, but slammed it into the ground. Its face was just kind of like a paste when I was done with it, and killed it. So yes. I wanted to make sure that was included as part of our little recap here.
Oh, yes, he was certainly a spineless devil once you were through with him.
Indeed.
Huzzah.
At that point, we discovered that Halaster Blackcloak had a number of scrolls about him. Apparently, they were purchased from a merchant. Is that correct? And that's a strange thing for a mage to be wandering about with, and strange things to be summoning. So that was quite an odd set of circumstances.
Look, just between us, I don't think it was actually Halaster Blackcloak. But that didn't stop me from claiming credit for the kill. And my legend spreads as the man who took down Halaster Blackcloak with a single lightning bolt.
And the Quasits did vow to spread that story far and wide on their trip to the Black Pits. They would make sure everyone knew that Baloth the Entertainer slew Halaster Blackcloak in one-on-one combat. Yes. There's only one other thing I can think of. So does anybody else have two things. Is there anything anyone else has to add to it before I do?
Well, Bubble showed up, so that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And she decided that our outfits just weren't gonna cut it. So she changed all of our outfits to, myself, I am now a red panda with 7 tails, and it did not help when I went to do Radiant Soul, and instead of my beautiful, glorious wings, I was hoisted by my tails with my arms crossed floating up to the sky, but it still was successful. And
how does one contact Bubbles? Because I need that information for future use.
She'll find you.
Also, on behalf of Bubbles, she made it all better.
Also, Briv has befriended a nightmare who will come aid him. And I don't have in mind who said it, but someone did say to, I believe it was to Orisa, but I could be incorrect. I will remember your face. Sasha will hear of this.
That was me.
It was to have.
Sarah, she's the worst, and we hate her. You all hate her now.
I'm not familiar with her.
Well, you already don't seem to like people from the Nine Hells, so I felt pretty confident that you wouldn't like her. She's done bad stuff. She's done bad stuff to me. Hopefully she's not going to be part of this because, like I said, she's the worst.
That is true. One of the spine devils before being escorted off the prime material plane by you all so effectively. Promised her that, how do you pronounce that, by the way, Havilar? Sershi would hear of this. Yes.
I think it's just
the dogs.
What about the dogs?
The dogs. We were surrounded by the dogs.
Oh, no,
he boop the snoots.
Yeah, no, he mentioned the red pandas got the dogs away. The only other thing is after all of this insanity, you all had a very exasperated woman you heard yelling nearby over the hubbub of villagers cheering the victory and assisting those wounded in the fighting. Oh, side note. Several of the common villagers initially tried to attack you all because Briv had been rude to them, but ultimately fought on your side in the hopes of getting contracts for the Black Pits, for the record. But
I would like it to go on the record that I had a big part in convincing them after I was very rude to them admitting that now, to come and help us. I just want that to go down on the record.
Also, do the Briv's achievements forever etched in the annals of history. Yes. A clear voice cries out, "Oh, my stars! I can't believe he's gone and done it. Where are the guards? Oh, some stout folk, please help me." You all hear that echoing through the night, because it is now, even though it is springtime, this is sort of a spring festival among other things. It is still late enough that it's dark, and it's still pretty chilly this far up north. What would you all like to do?
That didn't sound like a joke.
Well,
We're a little drunk, aren't we?
I would normally jump onto my flying carpet, but as I neglected to mention, it seems to be nerfed in this environ. It's not functioning properly, and in fact, no flying spells or teleportation, for that matter, seems to work properly.
So it's broken.
'Tis nerf nor nothing.
Yes, Havilar, as many of us have experienced, once the adrenaline of combat sort of kicked in, you all feel the haze begin to part. Yeah, and you are mostly back in control of your faculties as normal. But you do hear this person yelling.
Oh,
Should we perhaps find out what's happening there?
Art thou
Seems someone
stout
might need
folk?
aid.
I know that I am, but
I'm
Olindra kind of looks Briv up and down and says, I wouldn't call you stout.
I mean, I'm kind of willowy myself.
so I shall go and answer this call, and thou should stay here and just keep drinking.
Tell you what, we'll come with you, but you can be up front as a nice meat shield.
Meat shield.
Freely picks up Cinnamon, and you hear him just say, okay, oh no, I got it, okay, all right, okay, she says she has to get home to her baby, so I'm gonna take her home, and I'll catch up to you guys, okay? Also, you look fantastic. I need a word with Bubbles. I'm feeling a little left out. I'm glad I'm still getting my pirate aesthetic, though, because I feel like this is a life choice for me, but you guys, I like this. Okay, also, Briv, Alindra, I've missed you guys, and he just like reach out and hug both of you real quick. Okay.
Olindra hugs him
Briv
back.
like does this on the top of his head.
Yeah, right.
Noogies.
Little noogie.
When you give the little noogie, Briv, you notice Cinnamon, the red panda, looks at you and just lets go enough to hold her arms out up at you. He's like, no, he's not gonna hurt you. Okay, all right. I'll see you guys in a minute. And you see he turns and he runs down a nearby alley.
now I kind of want to see the baby red pandas. This seems important. Shall we go? You know,
Bailoff,
can ride on Zuni.
dost thou know, thou didst say something about a meat shield. I have used shields in much of my training, but I have never heard of a meat shield. It sounds very convenient.
Oh, it's
Do those
extremely
exist?
convenient. It's
Do those
extremely
exist?
convenient for me. Well, now come to think of it, you're not so much a meat shield as a regular shield. What with that metal that comes out of you?
Oh, I
I'm
thought it
fairly
was something
certain
that I
Briv's
could
picturing
eat.
something made out of a slab of steak.
It'd be amazing.
Well, tell you what,
Huzzah.
once we get through with this, meat shield's on me at the tavern. In the meantime,
Huzzah!
let's see what the commotion is. Find out what the rumpus is, yes?
Indeed.
well.
Again, to remind you all of the setting, you're in the town of Hornfirth, which you all arrived when the sun was low in the sky for what you've come to now realize is the Festival of Fools. It is a very raucous time. People's doors are open, their windows are open, people are walking in and out of houses, coming back with steins of alcohol, pies are sitting, everybody's having a ball. Obviously, the battle with fiends and a nightmare loose in the middle of town sort of took things down a bit, but actually the party is kind of already starting to pick back up again as everybody's now celebrating their great victory. But you do see a small crowd of people around a woman that looks very distraught. Like she's very much looking backwards and forwards, and she's got tears coming down of her eyes. And she's like, oh no. Oh, God, help us all if they've done it. Oh, I'm afraid they've done it.
Are you okay?
Pardon me. Don't what? And who?
And she looks all of you up and down. She's like, Strangers usually don't adjust to our customs quite so quickly. You all do look very smart. Apologies for interrupting your revelry with my sorrow, but I think we might be all in a right bit of trouble. We are.
How so?
You all see she very clearly is holding back. Like she's like kind of like very much doesn't want to say something.
Baylot's going to try an intimidate roll.
Briv would like to do the help
Rachel?
action here. Yeah, help action. He's going to just
Please,
blow up.
please
Yeah.
explain to me how you're going to body this distraught woman.
Bailoff just doesn't have pay. He's just like, look, we're busy people. Out with it. What's the problem? Just be up front. Tell us. I don't care about your backstory. I just want to know what we have to do. All right?
And as he says, all right, Briv is going to pull a little bit of metal out of the back of his hand, and he's going to hit something that will ring very loudly, like he's going to synchronize with that.
Will this give me advantage on
With
that
the
roll?
help action, absolutely.
Okay, intimidation. Ooh, natural 20 on that second one. I have a natural 20 on intimidating an innocent townsperson. There you go.
Very important role.
If not now, when, right? Because again, I only have one house rule that a 20 always succeeds and a 1 always fails, even on skill checks. So, Bailoff, as you say this, your voice echoes through the night and everyone in the plaza stops. Everybody sort of like looks at you like, oh, mom is mad. And everybody freezes. And you see the woman just goes white as an absolute sheet for a moment. And she goes, okay, great and powerful sorcerer. Please do not harm me. I apologize. Okay, it's my husband. It's my husband, Baron. He's a fine, hard working sword most of the year, but he's the worst on fool's nights like this. He's always obsessed with performing like the one biggest prank he could possibly fool. Like one year he moved everybody's furniture from house to house, and another year he filled the well with gelatin, and this year he said it would be one to end all the others. And I'm just worried that he's done something that's imperiled us all. He and his friends. They've gone into the mountains to antagonize Rorder, the frost giant, and his legions of ogres. They thought it would be great fun, but I fear they've outdone themselves this time.
All right. See, now was that so hard?
It was. You're terrifying with your red eyes and white hair and bulging tights.
And don't forget all these goblins. I think this spell is still active. All right, now listen, get this woman a drink. I gotta say, it's going to be very hard for your husband to top the gelatin in the well bits, but
Agreed.
it does sound like a prank that could get out of hand.
What is your name? Friends? I'm trying to calm her down.
When
Bailoff has forgotten she exists, and he's just like turning her over, so waving to the crowd.
When he says, get this woman a drink, literally like 3 people point steins in her direction, and you see she takes a steaming hot mug of something and just like chugs it and looks back at you, Alindra, and she says, my name is Hailey. My husband's name is Baron. It's the frost giant. Normally he keeps to himself, you see. He's not too kind to having visitors. There was a pack of ogres that beset on him some years ago, and he killed half of them and took over the other half of his personal guards and servants. Every once in a while, the people that go up into the mountains still find half frozen bits of ogres that he's slain up there.
That's quite terrible. What sort of prank do they plan to pull there? That seems
Bucket of water over
extremely dangerous,
the
but
doorway.
also with no true purpose. Isn't the joy of a prank seeing your friends or your family mocked briefly?
Well, here's what he didn't know. The loggers, they come back and they say, Tonka, Troy, and Tad, those are 3 of his ogres, you see. They said that the frost giant's in a particularly bad mood, and I'm worried that if Baron succeeds in pranking Werder, he's not going to think it's funny. He's going to come down here and rain destruction on all of us. He's a towering, furious thing. And you all notice as she's saying this, the people that are within earshot, they're not laughing and joking anymore. Like, they all seem very somber. Like, when she's saying these names, like a rear door, it is WRERDOR, and my mouth does not want to say that word. Roar door.
WRE.
WRERDOR.
Rare door.
Rare door. Rare door.
Like rare door.
Rare door.
Like it's a door, but it's rare.
There's your
It's like a
meat shield. It's a rare
Here's the meat
door.
shield.
Rare door.
You know, giants make excellent meat.
Thank you for coming with me on this, Alindra. But you
You're
notice,
welcome. Of course.
as the people hear this, though, like, they clearly are taking it seriously. Like, this is the first thing that you've seen, even in the midst of the battle. There still were some people that were kind of enjoying it, like it was this joyous drunken brawl, but, like, they're all stone-faced hearing what she's telling them.
So
Good
hear me
people.
out. Hear me out. Hold on.
Go on.
Let me tell thee the strategic advantage that we could have here inside the town is let the husband, the pranking husband, get smashed, and then allow the giant to come to the city so we can lure him here and have the tactical advantage.
There is some merit to suffering the consequences of one's own actions.
I am told this on a continual basis.
No, please.
It's true.
Please, brave heroes. They're not bad lads. You can't let my husband and his friends meet their doom up there, even if they brought it upon themselves.
Don't worry, my good woman. In my experience, the only thing that can salvage a prank gone wrong is an even bigger and more elaborate prank. Huh?
I'm in.
I am completely in.
Yes, and in this case, the prank will just be explosions, fatal explosions that destroy the giant and all the ogres.
That is funny.
No,
Yes, you see?
I
Yes.
fail to see the humor.
that's not a prank. That's a murder.
I'm
Tis
with
a
the
funny
Risa
murder.
here.
It's a fine line between the two, but yeah.
People don't. It's a little problematic.
You see, Hailey turns and looks at you, Ariza, and she says, I wish I'd met you under fairer circumstances, Mom. I'm a very large fan of your work.
Thank you. And I apologize for my friend's brutish nature. We're really great. We're really great people.
I resemble that remark.
I saw how quickly you all leapt to our defense against those fiends. Even that red-eyed devil there still fought to save us from Hallister Blackcloak.
I killed Hallister Blackcloak, I'll have you know.
He slew Hallister Blackcloak in honorable combat, and I hope. And you see, she drops down to her knees like on the snowy ground. I beg of you, please save my husband and his friends. Stop the giant from unleashing his wrath on our fair zone.
I think that's a fair request. However, I think it's also fair to request that if we do so, you find a way to convince your husband not to create situations that are potentially lethal as pranks any further.
I shall chain him in the basement next year if I have to. Please, I swear on me, Mom, if you bring him back to me, I won't let this happen again.
Question. Do you have access to copious amounts of liquid soap of some sort?
Oh, wait a second. I know that voice. Is that Ariza? Hello, darling. And you see a very small red beholder floating through the crowd. She also has a motley hat on, like yours, Briv, but instead of a bell at each one, it's one of her eye stalks moving around, looking in all directions.
Aren't you a sight for sore irises?
It's humorous because that is my name. Come here. And you see she does float towards you and wrap her eye stalks around you in a hug. and then floats up to where her one eye is right in your face. And again, Iris is fairly small. She's about the size of a child. She's not as big as most beholders. Darling,
Is anyone
why
concerned that
are you dressed?
Arisa is hugging a beholder?
Kill it with fire.
No, they're friends.
No.
When you say that, 3 of the eyes whip around and light up, Briv, and she's like, wait, what that one just say?
He was joking. He was joking. He's new. He's new. He doesn't know. I'll fill
He was
him in.
asking what your name was.
I was telling
yes,
a
that
prank.
makes sense. Oh, oh, you nearly got me. Yes. No, my name's Iris. I'm an old friend of Bailoth and Arisa, and new friend of Havilah as well. Hello. Don't you all look so fancy here? Arisa, the bow tie. I must tell you, darling, I'm living for it.
Thank you. I just want to say on the record, it's comfortable. I've never been so comfortable, and it's not terrible.
I have very different limb needs, so it may not work for me, but I would be willing to entertain such a thing. The stalks do get a little chilly up here in this part of the world. Also, hello, who are your new friends? Look at this beautiful elf here. And you see she does turn and float towards you, and when she does, you see Griff's brows get extra judgy as she hovers your direction.
Oh, yeah. I think Griff might fly off around to the other side just in case. But hello, I'm Alindra, Alexandra Garoniel Sauerbrand. Who might you be?
Oh, you're that Alindra. Oh, wait, does that mean this iron orc? You're an orc, right? Look at the size of you, fella. Is this Briv Steel Marrow?
I am Briv Steelmarrow. Thou art so intelligent.
Did you two once go to the Waterdeep and actively antagonize the Xanathar? Something about kidnapping his only friend in the world. Is that this Alindra and that Briv?
I was not there for that event.
I believe that I did eat that goldfish. Yes.
Well, believe me, he still put out a contract on you, darling. I paid double that no one would carry it out. Apparently it's guilt by association or some such, but I'm very big fans of your work. Any enemies of the Xanathars are friends of mine.
Oh.
Wouldst thou like a lozenge? And Briv hands something out of his...
No.
But I don't take candy from strangers, darling, but thank you. Wait,
I thought we were fast friends now.
Alindra, you seem confused that I don't like the Xanathar.
A bit. I haven't had much experience with beholders, but it's never gone well. So it's lovely to meet you, and I'm glad to know that you are friends with my friends, and I'm learning quite a bit. I apologize for my ignorance.
You see, like, each of her eye stalks kind of give you the not sure look for a second, and she says, well, yes, as I explained to your friends previously, the Xanathar and I don't see eye to 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 eye about many things, you see, and I'll tell you, it's true. Beholders are usually a disagreeable sort, but I'll let you in on a secret. For the most part, we don't like each other either.
So it's an enemy of my enemy is my friend.
In this
my
case,
acquaintance.
I do not know much about mathematics, but I am not sure that holdeth up.
Well, again, I'm big fans of Arisa and Bailoth's work, and again, Havilah's a dear here. She's a demon with that glaive. I don't know if you've seen her spin that thing yet, but she could slice and dice before you knew she was moving. Hello, dear. How are you?
I'm fine. I have this fantastic dress, and Bubble didn't break my voice this time.
It seems like you are absolutely winning. That is true. Good to see you, darling. And she also gives you her little eye stalk hug.
It's weird and slightly squishy, but it's nice.
Yeah, it is. No, you can feel the eyes blinking. They're very cold. Yeah. She's like, so Ariza, you mentioned something about a lot of soap. I mean, I could just prestidigitate you if you look fabulous, but if you're feeling dirty, I could sort that for you.
Oh, no, that wasn't for me. And also, you should talk to Bubbles about getting maybe mini turtlenecks for each of your stalks, because I think it'd be a really good...
Turtlenecks. I have hit her with my petrifying gaze while she was in mid-sentence. Just like, stop right there, darling. Yes.
A bit of a concern. Can you want to dispel magic, perhaps?
Iris.
Yeah.
What? Not again.
I was like just lingering. It was too much concentration. I apologize. Wait, I'll avert my gaze downward. And all of her stalks turned down. She says,
If thou dost need turtlenecks, I am sure that I can go kill several of them along the...
No, but turtleneck is a style of... It's like a scarf, but attached to a shirt.
Why do they not call it a scarf with a shirt?
I don't know.
oh, you know what to do. Hang on, wait. Boom, I was ready for this. Although you're getting the full window there. Slightly less ready. But there you go, y'all. We're going off-road until Christina comes back. Hang on. We're gonna do this. We're gonna go, and then we'll pull this down.
Hey, Dave is proficient in OBS.
I mean, I'm getting there slowly, very slowly. Very slowly. Okay. So, hopefully that's just her situation that happened to her last time with her not having the computer plugged in, but that's all right.
I think the winds too are affecting some of the system.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're gonna roll with it until she comes back. So
Indeed. So, Iris, I believe why Ariza needed that was a bit of a slippery spot for our large chilly friend who we may be seeing. I could be mistaken, but
chili?
that was my...
Oh, wait
With a Y,
second.
but if not an I.
Oh, did somebody say they were gonna go antagonize the giant? Oh, that probably will end poorly, yes. I'm also a visitor here, but I am a beholder of not inconsiderate resources. I might be able to scramble up some soap for you, although I'm not sure how often these people bathe, if we're being honest with each other.
Well, so what Ariza and I have just met each other, and she's so delightful. I had seen her in concert a few times, once in Waterdeep, and she's just extraordinary.
She is the best.
So phenomenal. The way she harmonizes, it's incredible. But we don't know each other very well, but I can prepare a grease spell if that would be useful. But I'm not sure if that's an adequate substitution for the plan that she was making.
Well, if what I overheard was true, you all probably got to get a move on, but I can have whatever is available all gathered together to be ready when you come back. Or is there somewhere in particular you want me to spread it, or just have it ready, or...
Let us take a pool out on what Orissa's plan actually beeth, and whoever is correct, Bailoth will give them lots of gold pieces.
I'm not sure I like this plan particularly. I'm a man with lots of overhead. It's not easy being an entrepreneur. Also, I'm not sure we shouldn't just go kill this guy.
Alan's easier. The giant
Yes.
or the
Yes.
god?
The giant did nothing
The
wrong.
giant.
Gonna kill
I
the
can
god.
be
The giant
aligned
did
with this
nothing
plan.
wrong.
Oh,
The
I
giant
thought
just-
that thou didst mean the man, yes.
Well, I'll be honest.
though.
I don't care either way, but
6 of one, half a dozen of another.
Could we do this without killing anyone?
Like the double
I don't know that any of these crimes are
challenge.
worth murder, but
We're supposed to be pranking people. Maybe we should think of a bigger prank.
I mean,
I've got a prank.
I like
Is the
where
prank
your
blowing
head's-
people up?
Yeah, it's a fatal prank. It does end in death.
Well, I mean, it'd be an excellent show, but only the once, you know. You could only do the trick the once. Although, Havilah, I think I like where your head's at. You know, sometimes you can solve problems with humor rather than violence. Don't get me wrong, I've done my fair share of violence. Apparently, I've petrified Ariza completely unintentionally. But,
We need to get that fixed.
hey, I'm sure she's gonna snap out of it. She's not even stone. It's just a light petrification. That happens. People get lost in my eye.
when Ariza unfreezes, when we can restore her to her normal mobility here, perhaps we could message you down the line to fill you in on the plan for where we need the soap. Is that a fair strategy here?
Absolutely. I would say I'd keep my
Excellent.
ears open, but as you can tell, I don't have any, so it's kind of an unusual state of affairs of how I hear
Your
anything
eyes are
at all.
such a lovely color.
Oh, thank you. Don't look too closely, though. Apparently, sometimes it goes wrong. I don't want this to happen to you as well.
Could you get some glasses, maybe, that might serve protectively?
Well, like Bailoth's lenses there, you know, where did you get, right, like, maybe I could just get one big black one that would then I would look cool when I went places.
So cool.
Deal with it.
And you see
If you have it mirrored, you could have defenses against certain creatures that also petrify.
one of her
Protect
little
yourself as well.
eye stalks
Tell
comes down
Xanathar
and
what's up.
scratches at her chin, and she's like, I could reflect the Xanathar's petrification beam right back at him.
And there you have it.
Well, now you guys have given me a lot of food for thought, although you should probably hurry up if you're gonna catch these people. I know you guys are heroes and all, but they know these lands quite well. So, you should run along. I'm gonna float along, and I'll do whatever I can here to be ready when you send me the message.
Fantastic. We'll be in touch.
And very nice
In
meeting
thought.
you, Alindra. Wait, could you just do me one tiny favor? Just a little thing that would do my beholder heart happy.
What would that be?
Could you give me, like, the full name, the names, the titles? You sound so regal when you say it, especially here in this dress. Yeah, I would really appreciate it. And she, like, floats back and gets real close to Havilar. It's like, she's gonna do it, I think, Havilar. She's gonna do it.
Here we go again.
Briv, why are you treating me that way about my name?
I am sorry, Alindra. I am hungry, I believe, or hangry, as some have called it in the past.
Briv,
All the talk of meat shields, chili. There was even someone saying that if you think, you can get food.
Briv,
So
right when you say that, a disintegration beam shoots out of one of Iris's eyes and just blows a hole in the ground at your feet, and she goes, oh, I'm sorry. It just gets away from me sometimes.
All right. My name is. I am going to intentionally leave out one name from my full name because of giving true names, blah, blah, blah. That's a thing I'm always cautious about. My name is Alindra Alexandria Garanhill Sarabrand, Lawkeeper of Rhyme Spiro, Kinscribe of Clan Monkey Mouse, Daughter of Oblivion, Fate Changer, Knight of Wonder and Captivation.
Oh.
It's always being added to, shifted.
Well, let's come up with what's another interesting name that you might have. Oh, I know. Beloved of Beholders.
Oh my. Well, thank you. I appreciate the title.
You have
my gratitude.
You have absolutely earned it. Yes, but no, please hurry. Also, Bailoth.
Yes, as Iris.
I saw your technique with the Downs lady. I appreciate that because they were gonna be all like, "Oh, you poor thing," and you were like, "No, you shut up and get to the point." I like that, Bailoff.
Exactly.
Hold on to that, darling. It's a strength. It's a strength. Okay.
Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, I know that we want to prank this frost giant, but in my experience, I find it's best to play a humiliating prank on someone and then also kill them.
You can have backup plans.
All right.
That's just
Absolutely
wise.
true. Yes, I mean, hey, I'm a visitor here just like you all, so I can't really advise you on such things and how to deal with a grumpy frost giant, but I'm sure one way or another you'll think of something.
In the meantime, we should do something about Briv's blood sugar.
Hey.
Magic box, I would like a large chili dog, please.
It's thou say something about blood sugar. Is that a delicacy here?
When,
Not unless you're a vampire, which I
When-
hope you are not.
when you open the box, again, Briv, there is a magnificent chili dog the length of your arm, like the kind you got in Hooperduke.
Here you go, my friend.
You can also make stuff for pranks. But it can't make money, and it can't make magic stuff. And it can't make the Eye of Vecna, unless what you want is a random eyeball that you call the Eye of Vecna. You
From
can do that.
I mean, maybe it was an eyeball from someone that called themselves Vecna.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
However, you all should probably try and move along.
Agreed.
So, before we depart, I have one more question for thee, Iris.
Yes, Mr. Steel Marrow.
Thou didst say that Alindra was beloved, and I could not help but notice that thou didst not say anything affectionate towards me. And
Would you like a title as well, Mr. Steel Marrow?
I perhaps collect titles somewhat less than Alindra, but I still always do titles, and they always start with the letter B, because I am Briv the Bold, Briv the Beautiful, Briv the Bountiful, and I am trying to think of something that has to do with eyeballs or eye stalks, and none of them start with B, and so I am having difficulty thinking of something that...
So, knowing what I know about the Xanathar, how about the befuddler of beholders?
Briv the Befuddler of Beholders. Huzzah! I love it.
I'm confused just hearing you say it. It's working already, darling.
Excellent. Let us depart.
Do we have a map to where we're going?
Maybe you can talk to one of the locals here that might be able to help you. They just all said it's kind of that way. And you see, like, the town is sort of set kind of at the base of a mountain that does kind of go almost straight up. Just think maybe a local can be of some assistance.
Excellent. I will start working on that while they continue. It was lovely meeting you, Iris, and we'll be in contact about Orisa's plan.
I'll be seeing you. It's a little beholder humor. Yes.
Baylock is going to, although it's probably going to be pointless, he's trying to get the flying carpet to work, the flying shag carpet, I should say, trying to get it to work again, but it's clearly not able to go more than a few inches off the ground. Right?
Yep, there's something that doesn't let it go more than about 3 or 4 inches, and it can't even really like hover effectively. It is. Oh, so much so you notice if you take it back to the shore, like it doesn't work anywhere on the ground here, but when you take it out on the pier all the way out to where you all got off the Bregendarth sub, it alights off the pier when it's out over the water, and you come back to the ground and it's like.
Can Briv pick it? Like, may I try something? Right. And I am just going to try to, like, can I pick it up and hold it in my hand higher than 3 or 4 inches?
It's just a carpet. Yeah. It's just when he tries to magically float it.
Briv simply says, hop aboard. And Briv is going to just carry it a little bit higher. I wanted thee to feel better about the situation.
It's okay, Briv, but I am somewhat concerned if... the cause of this is somehow related to our frost giant friend. He might have magical backup.
Maybe we shouldn't prank the frost giant. We should prank the guy trying to prank the frost giant. Yeah.
Well,
I am in agreement.
Let's try to intercept him anyway. This would be a lot easier with the carpet, and I suspect that's why it's not working. But all right, very well. Let's head out. It's been quite a while since I've had to use my feet to get anywhere. Oriza, you're unpetrified.
Hey.
It's unthaw.
She's like, oh, yes, darling. Sorry. Okay, but it did, however, move everybody around. So hold on a minute. I'm going to put everybody back in different places.
Sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
It happens. We've made an arrangement with Iris to communicate with her when we know what your plan is, just to catch her up, and she will do her best to assist with the soap.
All right. Sorry. Oh, hang on. Wait.
Sorry
Hang on. I've broken everything, but that's okay.
So
we're going to make this work.
What did they want to do with the soap? We are dying to hear.
Okay, so here's the plan. We can do a prank that's not a murder. We can beat them to the punch, and we can fill the entire area with soap, like bubbles, everywhere, just bubbles on bubbles on bubbles on bubbles, and no one can do anything because they'll be wet and covered in bubbles. And when you're in bubbles, you're happy and therefore don't want to pull off really mean pranks.
Thou didst start with something about a punch, and I was with thee to that point. But then after that, sharp veering off.
Yeah.
Well, at some point you have to not think with your brawn, but with your brain.
Having had some experience with frost giants, I find that when they get confused, they just get more angry and tend to lash out blindly, even if they can't see what they're hitting.
But bubbles.
But bubbles.
Bubbles.
I do like
Who's
bubbles.
mad when there are bubbles? Unless it's Bubbles the Holophant. But even that Bubbles is a little delightful.
Oh, quite delightful. I like my costume.
What if we get Bubbles to come and give the giant a beautiful dress?
Not a bad idea.
Right?
Oh, we know the giant
But I do
already
like
owns a
the
beautiful dress.
True. Yes. Do we have confirmation of this giant's gender? What was the name? Raredor?
Raredor.
Yes.
Again, my mouth does not want to say it, but rare door. Yeah.
Raredor.
As in a rare door. Not
as
a common door, but a rare door.
As a rare-
Rare door.
That right there was knowledge cleric. There it was. It just happened right in front of you.
All right. If we're all met, let's get a move on, or else, what's his name? Was it Bairn? Bairn? Yeah, he's not. He's going to be a little stain on the ground somewhere, and we're going to have some angry giants to deal with.
So you all do get a map from the townspeople. Not a map as such. They don't really write it down because they all live here. They're all like, of course, it's 20 feet to the tall tree, then left, and then you go to the red tree, and then right. But they do at
The
least,
road.
yeah, they do give you an idea of the direction that you should travel, or at least the most likely direction he would have gone out of town. Once you guys get a little ways out, again, it is still cold out here. It's even though spring is here, again, anywhere that has lived somewhere kind of northernish, like it's not a switch. It's not just flipping a switch, especially once the sun goes down and the air's like, whoa, you know, there's still very much snow on the ground here and it's still very chilly. I'm going to need 3 group either perception or survival checks. I will let you all decide amongst yourselves
So,
what you're better at. Perception.
For what
Yes.
it's worth, I have a passive perception, so that should be my floor of 21.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you've got a ringer with a Lindra of a 21 for perception. Does anybody? I guess well then let's make it perception then. Otherwise that won't matter. So we're gonna do 3 group checks. So first, give me the first one. Give me everybody's perception.
19.
19.
Come on.
17.
I mean, well, I'll count you. I'll count you your 21, Alindra.
Cool.
19, 21.
So 21 for Briv, because I add a D6 to like every D20.
Every
Is that
D20
correct?
roll. Yep.
Yes. Way to go, chat.
Thank you.
23 for Bailoff the Entertainer, thanks to the fact that he is wearing his goggles of day, so he's not at disadvantage.
Perfect. And Ariza?
13.
All right. So that's 4 of you were north of 20. Okay. So that's the first one. Give me that again. This is having a macro effect of how fast you travel. Like, and this will come up later.
24.
20,
Only a 12.
12, 2 north of 20. Okay.
15 for me, this one.
15, 13. Okay. And Ariza?
13.
All right. So what's that? That's it's probably an average of about 16, I think. That was 24 and 21, and the rest of you were low, more or less. I know it's not the best math, Chad. I apologize, but math is not my thing. Roughly that. Okay. Well, we'll call it 16. Give it to me one more time.
Perception.
Oh. 16.
16. It's getting
Natural
cold.
1. Natural 1. Bailoff failed.
It's
And
everything. There's too much like white out here. Like it's hard to blend in. Like it's just yeah.
And actually, Bailoff is also distracted because he is currently using some sorcery points to regain some 3rd level spell slots.
Perfect. That is
Only
a fine
10.
thing to do now. 10. Okay. All right. And Ariza for the 3rd one.
That is a 14.
Perfect. Good. Perfect. All right. So as you all are out tromping here through the snow, now give me a second. Actually, I will just give this to Alindra, especially because you are highly perceptive. You do on occasion pick up tracks of a group of people headed out of town. It's hard to tell exactly how many. You figure probably about a half dozen or so, but the tracks are just all over the place. And at first it looks like, well, maybe they're intentionally trying to obfuscate their tracks, or they trying to hide their numbers, but as you look at it, you're like, no, they're just really drunk.
Yeah.
They just sort of meander that way for a little while and then kind of like hard back this way, but they are roughly going up the mountain in the direction that you were told they would be going. As you all are sort of tromping through the snow here, is Bailoff and Havilar are kind of walking along in front of you. Alindra, you notice something just too late. As they're sort of walking by, Havilar's glaive bumps a high tree branch, and you see a small bundle falls and shatters on the ground, and a cloud goes up around all of you. Give me either dexterity or con, whichever is higher.
A saving throw or
Yes, saving throw.
If you are within 10 feet of me, which I would assume we'd be traveling pretty closely, you get +4.
Mm-hmm.
+4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great. I've got with that bonus from Briv, I've got a 23 total.
Perfect.
Oh, sorry. What was the bone? I mean, I rolled a 1, so I failed no matter what, right?
No, yeah, you're out of luck, Havilar. Perfect. Good.
I have a
Don't have to
whopping
do more
8.
math.
Okay, great.
At a 16.
Okay, Ariza.
21.
Ariza and Bailoff, as this container falls and hits the ground, both of you scatter, having learned your lesson from the glitter last time, not wanting to get it on your threads. Havilar, unfortunately, your glaive kind of gets like hung up in the tree a little bit, and you're not able to move and bump into the other two, and this cloud goes up over you. And Havilar, Alindra, and Briv, thanks to the good people at Idle Champions, have been caught in the sneeze breeze trap
Oh no.
and begin sneezing uncontrollably. So what this is going to mean is you will have disadvantage on attack rolls. However, you will have advantage on saving throws against spells and effects because you're constantly sneezing and your eyes are watering and not taking deep breaths. So disadvantage on attacks, advantage on saves as you begin sneezing uncontrollably.
Is this a curse?
It is not. It's a dust. Yep.
Fair
It's another prank, basically.
Nothing can be done about it, Alindra, because it was decided through the game.
I'm aware.
Fate decided that you were going to get all. So in the back of my mind, I was like, what if all 5 of them make this save? The fates are kind.
We take it as read that they're just constantly sneezing.
Yes. I won't make you pretend to be sneezing.
Does it?
I was
Does it?
looking forward to that.
It doesn't disrupt spellcasting, does it?
No. Just again,
Okay.
disadvantage to
Okay.
attack, advantage to saves. Otherwise, constantly sneezing. Yes.
Okay.
However, Ariza and Bailoff, as you see your friends just sneezing uncontrollably here in the snow, Ariza and Bailoff, give me perception.
Natural 20, total 25.
Well, Ariza still rolled just on the off chance, but the natural 20 is going to be enough.
I got a 14.
Ariza, as they're sneezing and like shaking this dust off of them, like you're just moving further and further away from them to not get this on you. And again,
could you sneeze into the cuff of your arm, like just away, like not into the general air?
Briv starts doing it, but then he's like under it, and he can't get it right.
Strahd sneeze.
No, not the one.
Strahd sneeze. Blah blah blah. Yes, right.
Don't say blah blah blah.
Bailoth, as you notice, Ariza is kind of backing away slightly, and they're trying to gather themselves and can't. You hear a single twig break in very heavy breathing. In Bailoth, you are aware that you all are being hunted. And with that, roll initiative.
Oh.
If not for that 20, they would have gotten a surprise round. So
I was going to immediately cast Magic Missile, but all right.
As one does.
Initiative.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Never misses.
It's true. And when you're ready, give it to me.
15.
15 for Briv.
But a
Also
10.
15.
15 for Alindra.
16.
10 for Bailoth. 16 for Havilar and Ariza.
19.
Okay, Ariza 19. Let me see. And the creatures also have a 19. So technically you're going to act simultaneously, but this is good for me. Okay. What you all actually, I didn't account for their decks. The creatures are definitely going to go first. Otherwise, this worked out perfectly. Bailoth, you are able to just sort of give like a little bit of a yelp in terms for everybody to see coming out of the darkness on 3 different sides of you. These hulking creatures that at first look like bears, but they're covered in feathers. And as they open their eyes are huge, and they open their mouths and they have beaks like owls. Thanks to, again, the players of Vital Champions, you all have come across an angry pack of owlbears.
Oh no.
And the owlbears are actually going to go first. So they are coming at you from 3 different sides here. All right.
Disrespectful.
That's how it is. Let's see here. One of them lunges at Ariza and misses horrifically, just by a mile. Bailoth, what's your AC?
It is 18, and I have a shield spell as a reaction if need be. So it could be up to 23.
It is going to hit you twice. The shield would help you evade one of those hits if you so chose.
Yes, I will use shield spell goes off as a reaction.
All right, I will let you soak the bigger of the hits. So it bites you for 10 points of damage, and you see its giant claws come down as your shield goes up and it scratches against it. The third one's coming at you, Briv, because you are a chunky boy. What is your AC currently?
So actually, I'm going to have to use my reaction because I do not travel in the armor. And so I'm going to use reaction to armor up. The metal comes out of my skin. I make sure this time that I form like a mask in front of my nose because I'm tired of doing all this. And so there's metal mask comes out. And so I'm sneezing and there's just like green liquid, like kind of condensation all over the mask. And
make sure that mask is covering your nose, Briv, all the way up.
all the way up.
You know,
wear it over the nose, everybody. Yeah, exactly.
I was about to say, Luke, please don't draw that, but maybe Luke, please do draw that. You know.
And so my armor class is now a 19.
It only hits you once. However, it hits you with a natural 20.
Okay, that sounds right.
You all see this thing just pounces onto Briv, and its beak bites for a little bit, and it's like it can't get through, and one of its claws just smashes down on him, and you hear a creaking like as its claws rend your flesh for 28 points of damage.
Ooh.
Yes, however, that is the end of the owlbear's turns. Again, it did get a natural 20 there. And like I said, one was woefully inaccurate of its attacks on Ariza. However, Ariza, it is now your turn. One of them is clearly attempting to attack you. One is on Baloth, one is on Briv.
Okay, so I'm going to aim at the one that is being rude directly by me, and that's when you start to see my musical notes turn into a little light, and it's like a little rainbow, and it goes directly onto the head of this dude. And I am going to cast Guiding Bolt. Oh, it's a 14.
Let me double check. 14 is enough to hit it.
Yay!
Yep.
Okay, and with that, so that's 8d6.
And give me the damage when you have it, and Havilar, you're on deck. What would you like to do? Just give me the damage when you got it, Ariza.
Okay, so whichever one is closest.
They're all kind of equidistant because you guys were kind of together, and then they've come from different sides. So basically, there's one on Ariza, one on Baloth, and one on Briv.
Okay, she'll attack the one by Ariza. And roll
31 points of damage.
31. It is damaged badly, but it is still up, Havilar. So have at it there.
I'm mad. I had to roll at disadvantage because I'm sneezing, right?
Yes, your attacks are at disadvantage.
Am I not the one I don't get to keep as a crit? So, but okay, so I hit it 21.
That is enough.
And and I'll attack it, and then I guess that was okay. I'll just hit it twice.
Okay. So
I whack it again.
I mean, you can hit it 3 times with your bonus action if you so chose.
I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, a 12.
12 is not enough.
And then so she like slashes down and then like whips it around, and then she tries for the pole arm. The last one she tries is it's a 10. That's not gonna hit. So she just hits the first time, and she's sneezing so hard she just kind of.
That is exactly what's happening.
Parakeet sneeze, I think.
First of all, also I'm for it that this like fearsome tiefling has like the littlest sneeze, and it is causing you to like overcompensate. However, that first hit definitely did land. So how much is that? Also, Alindra Alindra's on deck then Briv. But how much for the hit that did land?
The damage 20.
20 points of yes.
She also has advantage because of the Guiding Bolt.
Oh, that is true.
Ooh.
You know what? I'll let you have that first crit then. I'll let you have that first crit.
Okay.
Because technically it should have been a straight roll, and I'll give it to you.
You don't do bonuses for crit, right?
No, it's just the dice.
So
not
that one would have been a 20. That one I hit anyway. I hit with the disadvantage one. So.
Well, but what I mean is, if it's a crit, your damage would have been doubled, though. That's why I said I give it to you.
That's okay. So that's what I'm asking. Okay. So then, if it's doubled, just straight double what I rolled.
Yeah.
Okay. Remind me how to math. That's all I need.
Yeah, but no pluses. So if you're like 1d8 plus 3, for instance, it's now 2d8 plus 3. That's what I mean about it. Yeah.
It's okay. Gotcha. It's 2d10 plus 6.
Yeah. So
you want me to roll 2 more d10s or just
34.
double what I rolled?
It would be 34.
Okay. Cool.
Perfect.
34.
You notice you swinging and sneezing and missing, and you see the glow around this thing that Ariza left on it. It's almost like a bullseye of musical notes appears on its flank.
Perfect for aiming.
Havilar cuts it almost in half. Just and it collapses very dead.
That was awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Alindra, your turn. One of them is already defeated, but one is still on Baloth and one is still on Briv.
And have any of those taken damage?
They
yet?
have not.
The Briv one. Oh, they have not. Okay,
No.
then I am going to. I would like to surround us with a wall of flame,
Okay.
a wall of fire surrounding our party. Safe. We will be safe inside of it, but I'll form a ring with it so that everything outside is harmed by it. So they need to make a dexterity saving throw of 16.
All right. Let's see. One of them succeeds and one of them fails. Hang on, let me just double check, make sure they don't have advantage on that. They don't. Do you have a preference if you'd rather to get the one on Briv or the one on Bailoth? I will let a lady decide.
No, I don't have a particular. Let's let fate decide.
Which we so rarely do as diviner wizards.
I know that in this moment I choose to remove the one from Bailoth because I believe it will harm him more than Briv. I know that Briv can hold his own.
Perfect. Then the one
we
so
get
the
out of
damage
this,
on
I'll
the
hold
one
your
that
own.
is, they're both going to take damage, but the one that takes the full amount is taking 24 points of fire damage.
24.
And then the other will take half.
And
the
12.
wall remains.
Okay. Now I have to math. Okay. And okay. Perfect. Anything else from Melindra?
And then if they end its turn, their turns within 10 feet, they will need to take damage. And if they enter the wall, they'll need to take damage. So
how does that work when they fail it? Are they already in the wall, or does it count as they're knocked outside of the wall, like the wall?
So
erupts and
anything
pushes
within
them back?
10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So when when the wall appears,
Mhm.
everything within the area needs to make the dex save except for everything that's inside.
Mhm.
On the subsequent turns, anything that ends its turn within 10 feet of that ring
Mhm.
is going to have to take damage.
Perfect.
Or if it's inside of the wall, that ring,
Would that
Then
include
then-
to take it as it
allies,
passes through.
though?
I think she can choose to
No.
eliminate allies. So I'm going to say
I mean, if you go back, yeah,
the one that made the
only selected
save
by me.
made it in. The one that didn't make the save is on the outside and is going to have to come through the fire to get to you all. So the Bailoth
Okay, so
owlbears
I got
inside.
to choose where the ring goes, though, so that
Yeah.
they should both be outside of it
Oh, okay.
for the start.
All right, then you can lock
Yeah.
them both out. No problem.
Mhm.
Briv, this flame leaps up like essentially at your feet because this thing is like actively mauling you, and you see the wall of fire come up and push it back out. However, Briv, it is now your turn, and you're on this side of the wall of fire, away from the owlbear.
Okay, so I'm inside the wall. The owlbear's on the other side.
Yep.
Correct.
You all are like
Correct.
together, and there's like a ring of fire around you.
Okay. So I am going. Can I still see through the wall?
I think you're the.
It's flame, so
Yeah.
it's
I mean, you're
flickering, but-
very much aware of the owlbears. Yeah.
So there are two on the other side, though.
Yes. One
Okay.
is dead, two on the outside. There was 3 total.
Are they within 10 feet of each other?
They are not, because they kind of came from different directions.
All right. So Lindra's probably done this around me a good bit. What was the damage for the wall again?
24 points of damage to them, but you'd know that you can be safe inside the ring, but outside you'll be in danger.
Like,
Okay.
he's trying
It's
to.
like it's
He's basically trying to figure out how bad it's going to hurt him to jump through the wall.
I'm
if you
about
can
to.
get more than 10 feet away from it, you're fine.
I am. That is what I'm going to do. Then I am going to try to rush through the wall of flame at the owlbear who cut me deep, and basically I am going to try to because I am sneezing uncontrollably right now. I'm going to just try to push it out, and I'm going to keep trying to use the shove action and keep going with it. And then I would like to, since I can attack twice, I should be able to shove and get on the other side of it, and then grapple it and hold it in the fire.
First give me athletics for the.
Okay.
Well, actually,
Because a shove and a grapple should be an attack, right?
You don't even have to shove it, because if you can just grapple it, you can then move it with the you can move it around. So you don't need to shove. You just have you only need the one. So if you can't grapple it, you'll have 2 shots at grapple basically.
Yeah, got it. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm rushing through the floor, and I'm just like yelling as I run through, and I'm gonna just try to grab.
That would be an incredible album cover of this like iron orc coming out of the flames to grab an owlbear.
Oh wait, I have to add so that first one with my D6 added to that is 26.
That is enough. You very much like it stands up, very much waiting to like fight back against you, but you grab a hold of it like it is a teddy owlbear, and then your plan is to move it toward the fire.
Hug it.
So
and I'm just trying to keep it immobile for the fire.
Yeah, okay. I will give you that you can. So here's what's going to happen. On its turn, it will have a chance to fight back and potentially escape, but right now it is in position to get hurt by the fire, and you do have it held.
That's fine.
Okay, perfect. Anything else from Briv?
Actually, I'm going to do one more thing. Well, I don't know that.
Because
never mind. That's an action to do.
You
that.
do theoretically still have another attack, because grappling it was an attack. You do have an attack. Like even moving, like grappling it is an attack. Moving it is your move action.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and try to attack it. It's not going to go well, but I'm going to try to attack it.
Have at it. I believe in you.
Yeah, that's probably not going to do it. Oh, I do get a D6 on every D20 roll, though.
You do.
Ooh, that does get me up to 16 on the lowest there.
That is enough. That is enough.
All right, so
thank you, Idle Champions.
We're going to, yes, thank you. So that's 11 points of damage, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and smite since I happen to get lucky and hit the creature. So I am going to do. I'm going to use one of my 3rd level slots.
Perfect.
And that is going to do. Let's see. So 14 additional points of damage.
What was just the attack, by the way?
Oh, sorry. What did I say? I think I said it. Let's see. Is it in the log? I think it is, maybe.
The captain's log.
Mm-hmm. Bailoth, you're up next, by the way.
So 11 points of damage plus 14 from the smite, 25 total.
Okay, this thing looks terrible, but it is fighting. Your smite goes off, and the blast of light goes off and burns off fur and feathers and everything flying, and it is burned and charred, but it is still up and growling and fighting. Bailoth, the one that was on you is on the other side of the wall now, still very much looking at you, relatively uninjured, and the one that Briv is grappling with seems like it's within an inch of its life.
Now, because we've got the wall of fire in between us, I could move back from it without... I could basically disengage without... Or rather, move away from it without provoking an opportunity attack, yes?
Correct, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Bailoth backs up a little further into the circle. Do you usually count drinking a potion as an action or a bonus action?
You drinking it as a bonus action, giving it to someone else is an action.
Okay, so Bailoth just sort of casually backs up. And I can still see it, so I'll fire off a volley of magic missiles at it. Okay. And then for this bonus action, he pops a healing potion and drinks it.
Perfect. So roll your damage as the magic missiles go zinging through the wall and slamming into this horrific beast.
Yeah. First one does 4 points of damage. The second one does 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Third one does 4 points of damage, and the fourth one does 4 points of damage.
You see the missiles dart out and just slam into it, and it just growls every time as you are hitting it. It seems more irritated than anything.
And what's a regular healing potion, just like one of the standard ones? That's 2d4 plus 2, right?
I believe so, yes. Perfect. Anything else from Bailoth?
Nope, that's his action and bonus action, so he gets 4 hit points back. Okay.
Perfect. And we are back around to the top with the owlbears. Okay. The one that is fighting you, Briv, seems to have embraced its fate. It's like once you're dead, it will just walk away with you. And it does manage to hit you once. What's your AC currently? Sorry.
19.
It does manage to hit you again with its claws for 14 points of damage. And it does not manage to bite you. It basically bites down on your iron neck, Briv, but just can't get through. And it does not get away. Alindra, how much damage does it take?
5d8. So
Okay.
let's go ahead and do that. Sorry, this froze.
No problem.
Sorry, it was 30 damage.
Briv, you see as this thing is like chewing on your neck futilely, the flames start to come up behind it. Like it catches on fire, and there's a split second where you still see nothing but hate in its eyes, Briv, as it refuses to let go and is still scratching and biting at you, but it just kind of starts to go limp after a second and just kind of slump over in your arms on fire and very much dead.
I'm going to kind of suplex it still.
As one does. The second one, however, charges straight through the flames to get to you, Bailoff.
Oh, well.
And
Are die popular?
misses wildly both times. It's like it sort of like looks at its dead friends and kind of backs up, getting its courage together, and closes its eyes and just comes forward snapping and misses vastly.
So I see it takes damage as it goes through the firewall.
It has to end its turn in the fire.
Oh,
No, if it goes through the fire, it has to take damage.
Oh, it does? Oh, then Briv has to take damage for going through the fire also then.
But he went from the inside out and on.
Yeah, inside out doesn't do it. Outside in.
Oh,
does.
only outside in? Oh, then yeah.
Yeah,
then
it's a one way. It's a one-way trip.
Well, that kind of makes it a lot more useful. Then yes.
Like those spike
Yeah, it's-
things on the parking
yeah, it's
lot.
a-
You can go this
yeah.
way, but if you go this way, you destroy your tires.
Do not back up.
Very valid. Go ahead and roll the damage. Does it get another save or no?
It gets nope, 5d8
Okay.
fire damage.
Go ahead and roll
So-
it. And
Rolling.
after this, it will be Ariza's
22.
turn. 22. It looks very, very badly burned and beaten, very futilely lunging forward at Bailoth. And Ariza, yeah.
Both of those attacks on me missed. I didn't have
Yeah.
to use
No.
charge or anything. So yeah, Bailoff is
I rolled double fours.
right. So Bailoff, as both of them miss, is like, oh, all of that for nothing.
Ariza, it is your turn.
Ooh, so I'm close to the one that was going for Bailoff, correct?
Yeah, and it's the only one still alive. It is through the wall. It is in there with all of you now, snapping at Bailoff. Yeah. And very, very, very badly beaten and burned.
Sweet. So Ariza's gonna do a little bit of a spin so that her tails all move around, and she's gonna go, and she's gonna touch it, and she's gonna use inflict wounds.
All right. I believe that is an attack from you, not a save from it, correct?
And I have rolled a 24.
That is more than enough.
Let's see this damage. And
Give
it's
me
38 points of damage.
Ariza, describe to me what it looks like when you kill this thing with your inflict wounds.
Fantastic. So she sees Bailoff come in, and she's like, in slow motion, she turns around and she does a double spin, and she goes, oh, and like puts her hand right on its chest and is like, "Brr!" And then you see all this light start radiating out of her hand, and you hear this legally distinct version of Queen's Princes of the Universe, and so it's like, "Brr." But imagine it with a lot more heavy guitar.
Queens of the Galaxy is the song that starts playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Legally distinct.
Legally distinct.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so she's just like, "Ah!" And then it's just like, yes. And it's like, all of a sudden, it's, can I say the explosion part? Is this take it down? Take it down?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, it's dead.
So as her hand connects and all the musical notes are going throughout it, it just goes and it explodes.
And
It's a round of applause from Bailoff. Very well done. Yes.
As these creatures lay burned and slashed and divinely smoten in the rapidly melting snow from the wall of fire, that is a good place for us to go to break. We're going to take a quick one, and we're going to show our little interviews, and then after the break, I have something special for everybody. So don't go nowheres. We'll be right back.
Well, first off, you are in a brand new show. B. Dave Walters is the Dungeon Master. It's called Idle Champions Presents. Who are you playing? And what is this show about?
So I am playing Ariza, who some of you know from Sirens of the Realms, and she's kind of a realm hopper. So she's here, there, and everywhere.
And the game's gonna be kind of chaos. I mean, more chaos than usual because people can vote on the outcome a bit.
Yes. I was against the Black Viper today. Was up against Ariza, so I'm sure that was I had someone say that was a very hard vote to do. So the chaoticness of Viv minus, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. No, I'm really excited to see. B-Dave is chaotic dude at best. And I'm really interested to see what he throws at us. And Mark Mear's going to be there, so anything could happen. It's a lot of uncertainty on this ship.
Yeah.
Ariza was actually my first live stream character, my first D&D character, and I created her with Satine Phoenix for the Sirens of the Realms campaign. And she is an Aasimar cleric bard. She decided to take up juggling at one point, and she is also a bard who sings most of her spells, as some of my characters are wont to do. She's sassy and sarcastic, and she loves puns. She's been around for a while now, and she's been to Avernus. She's been everywhere, so she's kind of just like your really chill aunt at this point. I love Idle Champions, and I remember when Satine went in, and I was so excited for her, and just like seeing all your friends pop up in this game, and it was so cool. And when they actually said, hey, we're going to put Ariza in the game, I was like, oh, this is so cool. What's her hair going to look like? And I mean, those were my great concerns. And she does, in fact, have two natural hairstyles. She has braids and an afro. I'm very pleased with this. It's just very surreal to see this character just go from your brain to fan art to canon.
So there's a brand new show that's being put on by Idle Champions, and you're in it. Tell me about the show.
Yeah, so Idle Champions presents, and I am in the second full stream that's coming out. I made it onto the poster though, so I was really thrilled about that because it was a labyrinth reference for the poster, freely holding us all in his mechanical hand. And so yeah, this show is taking characters from the game and bringing them back to the tabletop. So it's this Inception thing where they started at the tabletop and then they made it into Idle Champions, and then now coming back to the tabletop. And I'm playing my character Briv Steelmarrow, that I just completely love playing because he is completely a troublemaker to the nth degree. And so I can't wait to see what kind of shenanigans that I'm going to be able to get into with such an incredible cast. B. Dave Walters is running the game. We've got Christina. Mark Mear, I've played with him before in just home games, and he's just, you know, impeccable. And so really can't wait to play with such an incredible cast, and with B. Dave running the game especially.
And this game is going to be chaos. Like, you and I have played many games influenced by the community, and that is true for this one as well, right?
That is wow. We are going to be in a lot of trouble then if it's votes. So yes, you know, being able to take in what the community is saying and react to that. But that, truthfully, that's my favorite part of D&D, is being able to improvise with whatever situation that's put in front of you. And especially, this is the thing, I talk to people about this all the time, that in real life, I'm probably, and this is going to sound very flattering to myself, and I don't mean it that way, but in real life, I'm probably closer to a Captain America, where in games I play closer to a Tony Stark. Like, so in real life, what I'm getting at with that is, I'm a pretty responsible person, pretty buttoned up, but then for whatever reason, the characters that I play in these games are just complete messes that don't know how to act normal, that don't know how to fit in, and all of those things. And so Briv is absolutely that. So when you throw the additional element of having votes determine different factors of the gameplay and what's going on, this is going to be a really, really wild ride.
And you've not been able to play, you haven't played Briv in quite some time. So is this going to be like old hat for you, or like will Briv have gained any wisdom?
It's a definite no on that second one, because literally his wisdom score is still like a 9, I think. So he has not gained any wisdom. But ultimately, yeah, it has been a little while since I've been able to play Briv, at least on a stream game. I actually snuck him into a couple of home game situations from the time where I stepped away from Beyond Heroes. I kind of, had some bandwidth concerns, had a lot on the plate, and so I had to step away from it for a little while. I'm getting to a point now where I do have the bandwidth to not only play Briv again, but I'll be doing a lot more, streaming in the coming days too. Again, I am just really, really looking forward to playing Briv again, especially with a cast as talented as this. And there's just something about that concept that you have these characters, because I actually had Idle Champions pulled up even earlier today. And of course, it's maybe a little bit narcissistic, but I always have Briv in the rotation, right?
Yeah.
Now I have Averin in there, and I have all my friends in my rotation. It's probably not optimal at all, but I have all my friends, and that's what's great about Idle Champions just in general is how you can have that. And so having that as your formation and going forward with it, and then just to be able to sit there and think like I do sometimes when I am lost in thought about something else that I'm working on, and I look at that screen, and then I start almost imagining adventures that you could have with these characters inside the video game. And we're going to get to do that in this game, and so it's going to be really exciting.
This show is going to feature characters from Idle Champions, established characters, being played by often the people who originated them. So unlike myself, a lot of these characters their origin was at the tabletop. They were people's established PCs who then went on to greater fame through streaming or whatnot, and then subsequently got brought into Idle Champions. I sort of did it the other way around. I played Baloth. Baloth was created, I believe, by Andrew Foley at Beamdog originally, and Andrew did a lot of the writing. He's the one who came up with, for example, Baloth's tilt towards alliteration and whatnot, and sort of some of his more flamboyant aspects. I played him in the games, of course, and then subsequently I played him. It was for a cosplay contest, actually, that I hosted with Jessica Negri at the Edmonton Expo. And so we brought in like makeup artists, and we had Beamdog paid for Baloth's staff, for example. I actually ended up putting him into some of my games. For example, my my D&D in a Castle campaign. I had Baloth show up as an NPC villain in that, and had brought him in a few times. And then at D&D Live back in, I believe it was the 2019 show, I played Baloth in a 20th level game that B-Dave does. He does like those really high level games. And
he does.
That's perfect for Baloth, because he's a guy who can cast wish spells on his own, and also has a djinn that can cast wish spells for him. So yeah, but it gets pretty crazy when you introduce Baloth. The audience not only could contribute to help the players, but also to mess with us. Certainly, being an improviser, I look forward to that sort of curveball that could be thrown towards us, and then we're just going to have to deal with whatever the audience throws at us.
It is going to be a transmedia series in the sense that the events of the show are going to directly affect the video game Idle Champions and vice versa. Not just a voting component, but literally the actions the players take on both sides of the screen are going to connect and affect how it all plays out. Should be pretty interesting. We've been working hard on it. Every week we're going to have an opportunity to vote on some things, and pending how some other in-game events shake out will affect the stream itself. Things from literally certain items, some of the cast will get to possess certain characters that may or may not show up, the names of certain characters that may or may not show up, the intensity of some of the enemies that we will fight on the stream, or they will fight on the stream, all are going to be dictated by the audience. I think they know I'm specially qualified for this, because if the audience votes like rocks fall and everybody dies, everyone knows I will do it. We've worked hard to weave in both aspects of the Unfair Seas narrative, aspects of some nods to some things that have happened in the past of Idle Champions, some nods to the things that are going to happen in the future of Idle Champions for particularly hawk-eyed viewers there. Yeah, it should really be it should be a great thing, hopefully. I had the privilege to have worked with all of these people before, because it is a very small world to begin with, and then the streaming world is an even smaller pocket universe within it, and just we always have a good time. And with Errand in particular, we're on Champions of Lore right now, and I always tell her, it's like, I'm glad it starts on Monday, because like my week doesn't properly start until I hear Errand laugh. I love her laugh so much, so just that's like, it's like the go bell of like, okay, you know, I'm free to like do things this week. And Mark and Christina are of course brilliant, go way back. Vivka and I go way back. You know, Redacted and I go way back, and it's always good to play with them. I don't know that I have ever run a game for Christina yet. I don't think I've run one for Vivka either, so that'll be new. And some of the other people coming in part 2 that I'm vaguely alluding to, I don't know if I've run for them either. So it'll be a good time to just get out and just enjoy ourselves. And we are back. Yes. So as promised, I has a surprise for you. Also, as is me, I made a mistake and didn't load it up properly, where you could see what I was playing. Also, I messed it all up. I'm doing everything wrong. Hang on. Okay, so
You got this.
let me stop. Let's start over. Now, you stopped doing that thing. Everybody stopped. Everything is cool. I have a surprise for everybody. More importantly, we have a surprise for Erin. Because a few weeks ago, she was on Bardic Inspiration with Jason Charles Miller, and they wrote a song for Havilar.
Yay! Yeah.
And they have done a studio recorded version of the song.
Okay, hang on a sec. Because I cried so much the last time we did this.
So you guys actually have to listen to this through Twitch. I know it's like I'm going to stop talking here in a second. It's a little bit of a mind freak because you will only be able to hear it through Twitch. But now here, making the world debut is Havilar's song. And hopefully you all can hear it. So let me know if you cannot. And now.
No.
I know why you can't hear the song, because remember a second ago when I was like, hey, you're playing, stop playing. I just hit mute on it. So maybe if I unmute it,
We
you can
cast
hear
a
it.
spell to rewind time about 15 seconds.
Let's try this
And-
again. Go.
Try it again.
When I met the devil, it was a cold and stormy day. I was slightly disheveled, but I felt a spark there But now we're on the road, and we got so far to go. Brimstone angels back together, here to run the show. We'll hunt down all your foes and punch them in the nose. Brimstone angels stand together. Go, go, go. When I summoned the devil, it was such a boring day. He wasn't that special. I was glad to walk away. But when we got kicked out, you needed me to bail you out. I raised my glaive and sent devils to their grave. But now we're on the road, and we got so far to go. Brimstone angels back together, here to run the show. We'll hunt down all your foes and punch them in the nose. Brimstone angels stand together. Go, go, go. We're all someone before we find ourselves. From the mountain peaks to the deepest dungeon delves, I'll have your back through all of the 9 hells, best of sisters. But now we're on the road, and we got so far to go. Brimstone angels back together, here to run the show. We'll hunt down all your foes and punch them in the nose. Brimstone angels stand together. Go, go, go. Brimstone angels stand together. Go, 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 go.
There you have it, the world premiere of Brimstone Angels. Go, go, go. Let me tell you, so much work went into make sure that was a surprise for you, Aaron. Everybody was like, she cannot find out. Yes, that is coming from Bardic Inspiration, Volume 1. Hang on, wait, I can, boom, Bardic Inspiration, Volume 1, which is being released soon. You know, you would think I would know that, but it's very soon. Maybe now. I don't know. However, what I do know is there's socials that are going out on all the C&E socials right now, probably that say when you can get Bardic Inspiration, which may well be now, and if it's not now, it's soon. But there you go. Brimstone Angels,
amazing.
go, go, go.
I heard the Bruno one, and I was like, oh my god, if they do that for the Brimstone Angels song, that would be so amazing. But you know, there's so many amazing songs, so that was a wonderful surprise. And these are happy tears. There's something really wonderful about, you know, you make something and then it inspires like even cooler stuff coming out of it. So that just makes my heart just feel huge and wonderful. And okay, thank you, Jason. Thank you, everybody.
Y'all do me a favor and somebody please clip Happy Aaron so JCM can see it. There you go.
And shout out to vocals by Kinley Shea, who is my siren sister in Sirens of the Realms.
My God.
And she's fantastic. So shout out to the amazing vocals to bring that to life, because that was so good. I'm so happy for you, Aaron.
Thank you for the surprise. I was a little nervous, and you're like, a surprise for you. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be like an extra giant or something.
It's a giant with infinite tentacles. That's what it is. Round 2. One other thing before we go on, as promised, the second Idle Champions chess code, inspired by Adam Bradford, is Rise Up, Rise Up. Which, again, the Semitic components being rise, oop, re, si, oop. So, there we have it. Idle Champions.
That was amazing. That was great.
That was great. I want to know when I'm getting a song, Jason Charles Miller I mean, come on, man.
I'm getting mine tomorrow.
That is
Go on
true.
the show.
I was going to talk about it later, but they're going to make a song for Alindra tomorrow on Bardic Inspiration, and we did a song for Freely a couple of weeks back. It is we haven't gotten the full studio treatment yet. Apparently, only the most important of people have gotten that. But yes, it is quite an experience to have a song about something that you created and love, which is wild. So yes, there you go. Now,
To be fair, that is
Jason
a
is
free
in
to
chat and
have
saying
one.
you should come on the show, Adam. So
Well, he better let me know when, so because I will be there.
you know,
That was
here's the thing. I already know you, Adam. You're gonna want to sing accompanying vocals in your Brivs.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Just we'll get you a huzzah in the hook. You know.
be a lot of fun. Yeah.
that Havilar song. Somebody said in the chat, and I quite agree. It was like it was the opening of the anime, the Brimstone Angels
That's
anime.
exactly what I was thinking.
100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Adore a Brimstone Angel.
So can we get someone to animate that now?
There you go. That's
With the
up.
Be surprised
running
Aaron with
like
that
this.
in like
will
a couple of
I will
weeks.
just melt down in happy tears. I'll be like sobbing.
We can at least get an animatic. At least an animatic, right? You know.
Oh yeah.
At least a lyric video.
So, with that being said, meanwhile, back here in the mountains, just outside of Hornfirth, surrounded by a flaming wall and slain foes, Oriza, a strange feeling comes over you.
So Riza still has her hand out, and as you see what was going into the explosion, all of a sudden, all of those notes just turn into straight gold light, and it starts to suck the musical notes back. And as it sucks it back, it brings the owlbear back into its corporeal being. And Ariza blanks. The punishment for protection is not death. Punishment for protection is not death. And you see it come back, and the Deva has rewound that moment because she has realized that the owlbear is just protecting its family. And you see it come back, and Ariza's like, yeah.
And
It didn't work.
on the ground, you all see this owlbear that was just very much dead kind of open its eyes and like look around like it's confused also and start to get to its feet like it wants to keep fighting.
Ariza's going to use Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Not sure what happened, but can we just resolve this and you go your way, we go our way, and just call it a day? And she pulls her little red panda down a little bit and just kind of looks sympathetically at it.
You
and hopes that it thinks she's an animal friend.
You all hear growls and grunts coming from this thing, but Ariza, you very much hear, "You two-legged ones stomp through the forest, smashing eggs, endangering cubs, setting traps, doing harm."
I assure you that wasn't our intention. We just came here to have a good time with our friends, and honestly, I just feel really attacked right now. So I think blaming us for reacting, and you also reacted, we didn't take the time to get to know one another. And yes, I understand two legs are very violent. Me, as a fellow animal, I too know how it feels to have the two-leggers come in and think that they can just, just attack. And again, the explosion thing.
To the rest of you, you all hear Ariza making a series of hoot growls, as our Dimension 20 brothers and sisters would say. And this thing, like, very much like looking at her very angrily. Briv, give me a perception check.
21.
Briv, from a nearby tree, you hear a very high-pitched.
I look up, weapon in hand. I look up. What do I see?
High up in the tree, you see 3 little pairs of eyes that look kind of downy, somewhere between owl chicks and baby bears cubs. They have very large yellow eyes that are just staring down at all of this, whining gently.
I look at the owlbear that I have just killed. Can I make out if it's male or female?
Give me survival.
That's probably not going to go well. Can I use animal handling instead? Would you allow that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll give it to you with advantage because it's not moving. You got a pretty close look at it right now.
Well, the advantage that's a dirty 20.
Did you add your D6 to that too?
Oh, I did not.
Yeah.
So that is a 25.
You're pretty sure you killed the larger, more aggressive male, and the one that is talking to Ariza. You've seen Freely do this lots of times. You're like, apparently that's just a thing that everyone but you can do. Is probably female.
Okay.
The other one, Havilar, left in such a state, it's hard to know what it was, but it was the smallest of the 3. Maybe it was an older child. It's hard to say.
All right. So at this point, you see Briv. Look up to the tree, look down, look up to the several times, and then he finally kind of sighs, and then drops to his knees near the owlbear. And I am going to cast Revivify on the owlbear.
You are going to use one of your hard-won spell slots to revivify a slain foe.
Yeah.
Briv Steelmarrow.
I killed the little cub's parent, and I feel really bad about it. And so,
as Briv is getting ready to do this, Bailoff is sort of looking over at him, going, "What's going on? I thought we already won. What are you all doing? Wait, are you bringing that back to? Wait, no, what? What's going on?"
Bailoff, thou dost have a heart of pure stone. Mine might be steel, but thou art full of stone-heartedness. And I'm just going to continue casting the spell.
One quick thing. There is a somatic component to Revivify. What, roughly, maybe not verbatim, but roughly, what is Briv saying when he's willing this thing back into the prime material plane?
I am not too happy about this expenditure of mine energies to bring back this that probably was not a mistake, but the little yellow eyes are making me feel very, very badly right now. But I am praying this prayer anyway, and the universe shall hear, and bring thou back to life. Thou needest to look after thine cubs. The little babies need thee.
And sure enough, you all see a glow of divine energy come out of Briv's hands, which is a sharp contrast to this steel warrior. And you see this owlbear suddenly takes a very long inhale and start to try and get to its feet, as Revivify is the lowest level of bringing someone back. It does not bring them back wholly intact right out of the gates. So
and then I'm going to just like kind of put my hand forward, and I'm trying calm.
Alindra, important point of clarification, is the wall of fire still up?
No, that dissipated when we finished combat.
Okay. You hear it inhales and growls, and you, Ariza, with your speak with animals, can hear, "Why has it shown mercy? We will be slaves to no one." And you see the mother does look at you, Ariza, and say, "We are not pets. We are not farm creatures."
No one expects you to be. You're free. No one wants to hold you. We just wanted to help you. We felt the pain, and Not everything has to end in death.
Wait, what art thou saying to it? Briv is saying panicky.
Because you very much hear
Is this a prank?
Yeah, she is like growling and chirping at these things that are like returning it to her. When you say it doesn't always have to end in death, she turns her head and looks over at the third dead one, and then looks back at you. And she says, "Leave us to our cubs. Go back to your town."
We really are sorry.
And she looks back at the dead one and she says, "We all rejoin the forest eventually." And
It was fight.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
She just
We're
sort of
trying to eat
like
us.
narrows her eyes at you, Ariza, but she goes over to the one that has just been revivified and just like nuzzles it for a second. And you see it gets to its feet very labored and just sort of like looks at you, Briv, because it's kind of eye to eye with you. It's tall enough that it just looks right at you. And she looks at you, Ariza. He looks at you and he says, "Tell this one he's strong."
What did it say?
He said that you really need to work on not being as aggressive, and he wants you to be less, to exaggerate less. He said it's very, very important to him that you don't talk of yourself in such a, like just tell the story as it is. You don't need the extra frills. And he said you're really strong.
Oh. Okay, I suppose that at the end probably makes the rest worth it. Tell him that I can touch him and make it to where a strong breeze will not kill him again.
Oh,
allow it.
I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be fine. He'll rest up. It'll be.
I'm sorry to interrupt this whole negotiation situation, but we do have a task we're trying to
Do
achieve.
they know where the people
Perhaps
are?
we leave them in peace, and they leave us in peace, and we proceed.
Do the
Leave
owlbears
one in
know
pieces.
where the people
Can I
we're
have
following are?
one succinct message, just one.
Can we get information from where the people we're looking for from these owlbears? Have they seen them? As long as we're chatting.
So I know we're not really in a position to ask for favors after the, that whole thing. But is it possible that you could help us? We're on a mission, and we're just trying to find, what's the guy? It's not
Burn.
Rare door.
Burn. Rare door.
Rare door's the
one.
big guy. The big guy.
Yeah. Have you seen any really large creatures beside yourselves?
And besides me.
You're muted.
"We don't go near the cold one. He is disagreeable."
Well, you say disagreeable. He said, "Don't go near the cold one. He's disagreeable."
Oh, wait,
So
wait. Then they know where he is.
Where did you see him?
Well, they know where not to go, right?
Both of them turn and sort of look up the mountain in the direction that you're going. And they say, "We don't go far that way." And they turn and look back towards the town. "We don't go far that way. We stay here."
So you're saying you saw them here, or you saw them up the mountain? Any help would be appreciated.
The big two-legged one dwells up there. They also, the smaller ones that are still very large, all up there. The small two-legged ones down there. And it looks back towards the town. They've got an int of 3, so this is all fair. Yeah.
They didn't see our guys. Whoever maybe set this prank sneak.
When you do that, it turns and looks at you and it says, "It makes the sound of the cubs." And up there, you do hear from the cubs.
I forgot that was going on. So Briv pulls the metal back in, like no armor anymore, and there's just a beard of sludge, we'll call it.
Frozen sludge.
Prestidigitation.
Frozen sludge. Yeah, you get those frozen buggies out of his beard. Yes, perfect.
Ariza's gonna reach into her. Yes, there are pockets inside of her delightful costume, and she is going
Bubbles got you.
Bubbles knows that we always need a pocket and not a fake pocket, a pocket that's actually deep enough to hold not a phone, but maybe a scrying utensil. So Ariza's gonna pull out a packet of jerky and just thank you for your help. Give it to your children. I'm sure they would love a treat. And sorry about the childhood trauma inflicted upon them.
You see, she snaps it and just like swallows it up. And she sort of looks at all of you and she says, "You are strange two legs." And the two of them turn and start walking towards the tree. Like he's very much walking labored, but he's walking.
They're not wrong.
There's a very long sigh from Bailoff, and he's like, "Well, this was deliriously heartwarming, I have to say. Now then, you do understand that we might have to get our hands a little dirty when we deal with the ogres and the frost giant?"
I thought we were trying to stop the guys from even getting to the giants.
Well, we've been taking our
Are we
time.
here for fighting the giants? I'm here for fighting giants.
This has only taken like 3 minutes, so.
Small thing. I did not mention. I thought Havlar would be riding Zuni, but clearly she was stretching her legs. But where's Zuni?
Zuni's with you.
Okay, she just sat down and watched this. That's fair.
She wandered off chasing the scent of something else. Yeah. Because Zuni's very much like squirrel. You know? Yeah, right.
She comes out covered in brambles.
Like, there you are.
You know, she can't fight when she's got her muzzle on. It's a terrible time. All right, are you all then going to proceed along your traveling route?
Yes.
Perfect.
It appears we're going up a mountain, so I really hope everyone's prepared.
And someone else can ride Zuni too. She's very warm.
Is Zuni a good climber?
I'll take a lift.
She has claws. She can pull on things.
I'll take a lift if you don't mind. I'm not used to actually walking places.
Yeah, it's steep and slow going, but it's not like rappelling. You know, you don't need like pitons to get up here. It just definitely gets like increasingly cold. Although you notice the clothing that Bubbles has provided you with is surprisingly warm. It's almost like she accounted for the fact that it's going to be cold tonight. So you guys are doing all right, despite still just sneezing fits and giving away your position every 30 seconds or so between the three of you. As you all are walking along, hang on, sorry, make sure I tell you the right thing. Perfect. The slope turns rockier where the forest thins, and a great wedge of gray stone thrusts up and out of the ground before you. All of you, give me a perception check.
You see it.
19.
19.
Can I use my 21?
Unless you beat it, yeah. Okay, 20.
1 on the die.
21.
You've successfully disbelieved, yes. Bailoff?
Bailoff has a 9 total, so he's just still muttering like, "Unbelievable! I can't believe it. A bunch of bleeding hearts, I tell you." And muttering like that.
Just a single fireball, you could have wiped them all out, Bailoff.
As this is happening, Briv is saying, "It's not just my heart that is bleeding, and I'm going to lay on hands to heal some of the damage that I took."
There's a pretty gnarly gash across Briv's chest there. Riza?
Oh, that was an 11. Oh wait, no, lied. No, I didn't. It's 11.
Havilar and Ariza, as you all are sort of making it up here, and it's getting a little thinner, it's getting a little harder to breathe. As Briv sort of stops for a second and puts his hand on his chest, and you see his flesh knit as Baloth sort of is grumbling to himself about your mercy, and Ariza has that look like maybe she's about to have one of her episodes. You can't quite say. For a moment, off in the distance, in the far, far distance, you see this mountain range extends almost as far as you can see as you turn and look. The cloudy mist that just sort of hangs low in the sky parts. In a far distant mountain, you two see is on fire. In a huge shadow is flying through the smoke over it. It's difficult to know what size it is because you don't know how far away it is, but the fact that you can see it clearly from this distance means it has to be something gargantuan that is flying in the smoke over this mountain.
Guys, point out the fire.
As
The giant shadow.
she turns and points, just the clouds shift, and Baloth, Ariza, and Briv, you don't see anything. She's like, you guys, and you guys are like, mountains. I get it. There's a lot of them.
No,
You saw
the shadow, the creature on the. What is that?
What are you talking about?
I think
Can I
the
send
cold
Griff
is
out to
getting
take a look?
me.
It is a great distance. You feel it would be many days travel.
It's too far. Okay.
Yeah. It is far, far, far
Miles
down,
and miles
down,
and miles away.
down the
Okay.
mountain range. But you do see a flaming mountain off in the distance with something large flying overhead. In Havilar,
Yes.
something about it seems oddly familiar in the worst of possible ways.
Can I have a category?
Feels like home.
Like,
Home. Capital H.
Okay, except for once when I was there. My home is in the Smoking Mountains in Timanther. So this is a different kind of mountains with flames on them kind of thing. So I got confused. But yeah, okay, that seems kind of hellish, kind of infernal.
What the hell's doing here?
I mean, nothing good.
I do not see anything.
Is
I'm
You
sure
should
you
get
are
your
not
eyes
imagining
checked.
it.
If
Well,
it's
then we both
truly
did it.
hellish, does it need a rebuke?
Yes.
Well, I believe you. I didn't see it myself. So what can I tell you?
I do not believe thee.
Maybe this problem, then that problem. If it's not real, we had the same hallucination. And at that point, I think it's called a vision.
It
And
is.
we're
There
all
are
happy.
powerful magics that can allow for this.
as you
Is
all
there
yes.
is there anything I can judge by the shape of the shadow? Is there anything I can get looking at this? Or
Give me
lore I know about this place?
Give me Arcana with disadvantage.
Okay.
I know you are a very studied person, but again, you got a glimpse of an outline many leagues away. You were like, hey, is that a... And then it was gone. So
So I'm gonna roll my first one, and then I may use my special portentiness. No, I won't. I'll just roll my second one.
I mean, before you tell me, even if you roll, you can tell me the before you tell me the
No,
result.
with
You can let me know if you want
disadvantage,
me to do
it was a disadvantage. Well, with disadvantage, it was a 21.
You do have your, not in addition to your portents, you also have your luck die too, or is that what you were referring to?
That was what I was talking about.
Ah.
Yeah, it was the luck die was the portent I was referring to.
21. You realize anything that size that is flying would be almost incomprehensibly big. If it were a dragon, it would be impossibly large. No dragon gets that big. But what else is that big that's in the sky?
The Tarrasque
number
can't
of
fly,
things.
can it?
Last time you
No,
checked.
Trusks can't fly as far as I know.
I read a chapbook where a Trask flew. It was really scary. But then it was a joke in
Sounds
the end, so it was
terrifying.
okay. Is this a really elaborate joke?
It would
I
be.
don't know.
Have you ever gone up against Olympians?
Is it it's I don't know.
How much experience do you folks have with spell jamming? None? Okay.
Spelljammer confirmed.
They were distinctly lacking in tentacles. That was last time, Bailoff. Yeah.
Certainly did not confirm that anything exists. He merely mentioned a theoretical concept.
So thou
He
art
does not have the
admitting-
authority to confirm nor deny the existence of a spelljammer.
Look, I walk a lot of planes of the prime material, different alternate prime materials, so don't take anything I say as gospel.
We do as well. It generally happens on Tuesdays, though.
Ariza's trying really hard not to make her favorite joke, which is face down, Tarask up. And she's trying really, really hard.
Real talk.
That's amazing.
And
Real
yet
talk.
Christina still did.
I have a Death Saves T-shirt for a Tarask strip club, and on the back it does say "Head down, Tarask up," and that's I do
I think I have the same shirt.
Yep, I think we got it at the same time. But I digress. So, yes.
Is there anyone I could use? No, it's okay. We'll keep going. It's fine.
I will say, Alindra, it's not like you to sort of let go of a puzzle, but as you're sort of tumbling this around, because it just doesn't add up. Everything you're thinking doesn't add up. And while you're sort of pondering it, Griff tugs on your sleeve slightly and sort of like looks in the direction, and you can see that there is a cave that has been hidden. Just like bushes have been pulled in front of it, kind of almost like a deer stand, like a lean-to, like it has, nobody was like trying really hard to hide it. They just sort of like covered it up slightly. Beneath this overhanging awning, the dark mouth of a cavern tunnel opens up some 20 feet high. Beside the tunnel, a large sign has been bolted into the rock, carefully painted in common. Home of Raredor, Sage. Research inquiries welcome. This entrance only. All others go away.
It still says entrance.
I believe that this is probably the place we should enter.
Wait a minute.
We have inquiries for a sage. It is possible for a frost giant to be a sage, and this is a question worth pondering, perhaps, with the sage. So I think it's worth trying to contact and follow the rules of how to initiate that conversation.
Seconded.
All right, I suppose, but we should go easy. This seems like a trap. It might as well be a pile of free birdseed with a sign.
I mean, can I do an investigation or something to try and give this see if there's anything off about this? Does anything? Do I notice a style of the writing that seems to tie to a language that I'm familiar with? Is there?
Yeah, you can do investigation. Sure.
Okay, I'm not great at investigation, but that's not bad. 19. Oh no, 20. Dirty 20.
It's common. You can tell by essentially from the font and kerning, it was written by someone huge. Either a person was holding an entire tree trunk or a giant carved it.
Okay.
While
what I know of frost giants, do they become sages often? Is that something they do?
I mean, you're aware they're intelligent creatures. So, theoretically anything could decide, I'm going to like camp out and read, You of all people, Alindra, understand the halcyon call of just relaxing, and studying. Yeah.
I am ready to get out of these elements. And Briv starts walking toward the entrance.
As you start walking towards the entrance, Briv, you hear... and you hear footsteps. Well, I would tap the mic, but the noise gate won't let you hear it. But you hear of footsteps approaching you very loudly.
I thought that was somebody falling out of the sky at first, and I was like, I catch them.
It's Freely. I'm back again. Yeah. No, it's the
Freely.
It is somewhat. I mean, it's been Freely a lot of times. Honestly, someone is frantically running up the cave in your direction.
Halt! Who goeth there?
Give me either persuasion or intimidation.
Intimidation, for sure. That is a 21 after the D6. Thank you, Idle Champions players.
You see a woman running as fast as she possibly can. Her face is filthy. You see there's blood coming from her hair. There's tears that have like streaked through the muck that is all over her. Her clothes are kind of torn. But she is wearing the motley of like somebody that's been partying for the Festival of Fools, and she's running, and you step up and say halt, and she goes, "A steel ogre!" And turns and runs immediately into the wall of the cave and collapses on the ground.
Briv is trying to stave off laughter at the physical comedy that likely just happened in front of him, and he simply rushes forward to see if she's still alive. He does check that first, and then he looks down the opening in the cave here to see what on earth she was running from.
Well, first give me medicine.
Oh wow, that's gonna like if
well,
it
I
looks
mean,
like...
Briv, you're not stupid. She's breathing, and now like right in the middle of her forehead, like the dirt is like cleared from where her head just like basically bonked the cave wall, and she has knocked herself out, but she is alive.
Does she have dried snot on her face?
She does in the sense that she's been out in the cold weather, but she does not look like she's been afflicted by the sneezing powder like you all.
Got it.
I would surmise that she's one of our merry pranksters, and it didn't go well.
Where is Burn?
I don't think she can hear you.
Yeah.
Is she unconscious?
She's knocked out.
Okay, I touch her. I have 3 lay on hand points left. I touch her for 1 point if it will wake her up.
Iron ogre! Iron ogre!
I am actually steel, and that is very offensive. I am a half orc, not an ogre. Where is Burn?
She just points down the tunnel.
Is he alive?
I don't know. We just came
Stop
up here.
being hysterical. Calm thyself down.
It was just a joke. It was supposed to be funny. Reardor was supposed to think it was funny, but he did not think it was funny. He didn't. And him and the ogres, they just started swinging, and they're so fast to be
What
that
did
big.
you do?
Yes, a professional interest. I'd like to know what this prank is, too.
Okay.
Okay.
It's objectively, it made a lot more sense when we were all talking about it at Hornfirth.
Sure. Just give me the element.
That was probably the alcohol.
Do that.
We put itching powder in all their small clothes. And let me tell you, their small clothes are huge, by the way. His breeches were like the size of a ship's sail.
What is this small clothes that thou dost speak of?
They're undergarments, Brit.
Oh.
But he just...
I am unfamiliar.
Well, he just always seems so down.
Clearly.
We just thought we'd put a smile on his face. We thought we'd all have a good laugh and go home. No. There was him, and there was ogres. There were these ice creatures. It was just terrible. Wait, can you guys help my friends? There's 9 more of us in there. I just ran. I just picked a tunnel and ran. I didn't know this was going to be the way out.
That's
So
why
they
we're
are just
here.
scattered in the spider web of tunnels here?
I mean, or eaten by the ogres. Do ogres really eat people? My nan
Oh,
used to
yes.
always... Oh, no!
Oh, yes.
Wait.
Usually raw, while they're still alive.
Hey, Loth, I don't think you're helping.
Oh, sorry.
That's what compelled you to say, I don't know, of all the people to play pranks on, let's choose people that are much larger than we are, that are known for moderate to severe destruction. And what part of you said that was a good idea?
We do this every year, and you just gotta like take it up, you know? Like we always have to like do something bigger, and everybody in the past would be like, "Don't mess with the frost giant; it's suicide." So we were like, "Of course we're gonna mess with the frost giant," and no one will ever forget that we did it. It'll be like the greatest prank ever, but it wasn't at all. Not even a little bit.
And nothing in your prep work told you that was probably going to be the outcome.
We're not really a prep work kind of operation. We just
you prepped a prank. You didn't, I don't know, do a background check on your audience.
Test it on a friend first.
I mean, think about it.
See how they reacted.
She looks at you, Bailoff, and she's like, think about it. Don't you think an itchy frost giant would have just been hilarious, though? If we're just like, why?
Yes.
I mean, right?
Why is
See,
it funny?
I would think that's hilarious, and I would play that prank, but I'd also be capable of killing the frost giant afterwards when he got mad, as he undoubtedly would.
Would you do it or would you outsource it?
I would probably outsource it. I would outsource it. Let's face it.
Listen,
To
I will
idiots.
be honest with thee. We shall attempt to save thine friends, but it probably will not work out that way, and at least some of them will likely die.
Okay, all right. Well, I ran this way, but I don't think I was followed because they're not exactly subtle. I didn't see any guards. I don't think they knew. They might come after me. I don't know. Oh my God, they might come after me. And Havilar, you see she scrambles on her hands and knees behind you, looking back down the tunnel, like literally holding onto your leg.
Okay, I need that.
All right. We'll see what we can do. You can head back to town. Don't worry, we killed all the owlbears. Oh wait, we didn't. We brought them back to life.
Just don't bother them and they won't bother you.
They are likely very hungry.
She's like, owlbears? It's freezing now though. Do you all have an extra cloak by chance? The sun was still up when we headed out. We didn't think we'd be gone so long.
You didn't bring a jacket to fight frost giants? The prank frost giants?
I just, I feel like, when you say it like that, it seems obvious, but not at the, it's
that you were absolutely ill-prepared and woefully unresearched in making a giant life choice.
We were not unprepared. We had plenty of itching powder.
Fair.
What was your plan after the itching powder?
Laugh about it!
Did you really think the frost giant was gonna laugh at being itchy?
Yeah! I mean, everybody laughs during the Festival of Fools. Like, somebody gets you and you're
Are you
like,
sure that the giants participate in the Festival of Fools?
I'm now certain they don't. Yeah, now. But not then,
So,
though.
for future reference, what have we learned?
Never return to this cave. Ever.
That you're fools outside the festival?
And skip Rare Door next year if there is a next year. That we don't die or succumb to the elements, because it is
If
weird.
Gal does not get torn to bits by the
So a
owlbears.
near-death experience on a failed prank still isn't enough to convince you.
I mean, what am I? I'm sorry. I'm a little cold. I'm a little cold, and I got to tell you, I'm kind of.
Which direction are your friends?
I'm kind of coming down off of the champion.
Yeah, stupidity. It warms you. Which direction are your friends?
She looks at you, Alindra, and she's like, "What's the message I'm supposed to take from this?"
That it was cruel. It was an act perpetuated on someone who was not participating in the festival and did not agree to be pranked.
Come on.
And you should not.
He just had to loosen up. Come on. No.
All I heard was squeaking. I'm sorry. Your voice was very, very high pitched there.
Okay, anyway, look, just have fun freezing to death on your way back to town.
These are called natural consequences.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Mm-hmm.
She just sort of like looks at all of you and she's like, "You would have thought we were geniuses if it had worked." And turns in.
No, I wouldn't have.
And she does start heading down the mountain.
Don't worry, the owlbears are very friendly. They're
Thou
so
art a
friendly.
goner.
So we're looking at Rador, the ogres, and some ice creatures, as well as 9 villagers that we're looking to rescue. So I think
There weren't 9 of them?
That's what she said.
that's what she said.
She did say 9.
Well, this entire thing is a prank, and we are being pranked, and someone thinks that this is funny.
If our objective is to save the town,
Oh.
I suggest that we just let the giants work out their frustrations on the 8 of those guys that are left, and when they're bloody smears, then we go in and try to negotiate.
Give me insight, Alindra.
15.
When you say out loud that you're like, well, maybe this was just a trick, and then you're like, wait, maybe are we being pranked? But as you looked at her, she was injured, and she did seem terrified. I mean, if it's a prank, it's quite a prank.
It's a big prank.
Yeah.
They earned it.
Fake blood. Very well, let us see if we can collect these fools.
So, to try and find your way through these tunnels, you can do this one of 2 ways, but you got to do it as a group. To either, you can use perception to try and listen for them, or you can use survival to try and track them. And we'll do it as a group, whichever one of those that you guys will...
So I have that 21 passive perception
Definitely.
and Griff and the arcane eye, so I can do a couple of different
Perception
ways.
is the winner.
Seems. All right, everybody roll perception.
Here's
I rolled an 8.
That's 19 for Bailoff.
19, 8, okay.
8 for Brave as well.
8, 19, 21.
21 for Alindra.
So Arise is the tiebreaker.
13.
You guys are super lost. It is black, dark in here, and it is very cold. There are no torches. There are no sources of light.
I have a drift globe.
Yes, well, not counting whatever light you bring with you, of course. Otherwise it is hard to see your hand in front of your face, but when you can see, your breath fogs. It is not supernaturally cold in that respect so much. It is just set deep into cold ground that has not thawed. Give me another perception check. Actually, hold on before you roll. There's one thing.
Just a reminder, B. Dave, I've got I'm a shadow sorcerer drow, so I've got like dark vision at 120.
Oh yeah, I mean it is not supernatural darkness. There's just no other light. So I mean those of you that can see in the dark can see. Those of you that can't without something otherwise is going to be a problem.
As I said, I have a drift globe with me, so that provides daylight out if we need it.
And sorry, was that a perception check?
Yeah, give it to me again.
17.
Oh, that's a natural 20. So that's 26.
Hey, perfect. Natural 18. Okay. Actually, with a natural 20, even I'm gonna weight this in your favor. As you all are sort of fumbling through here in this just maze of tunnels, a crack like breaking bone sounds out as a faint echo on the chill air. A distant scream follows it, then a cackling, inhuman laugh.
Bad.
Oh, 9
Or
hells
the prank
no.
got more elaborate.
You all can kind of roughly figure out the direction in which this is coming from, especially off of that natural 20. And as you are running that way, you hear the sounds of combat getting louder and louder and louder until you spot a glimmer of light in the distance. And as you approach the light, the tunnel opens up at last to a huge cavern, its walls covered with frost that glows a pale blue. Against those walls, a number of humanoids are held fast by manacles of ice, their heads slumped forward. More humanoids run frantically around the caverns, constantly slipping, falling, and begging for mercy as they're pursued by small creatures seemingly made of jagged ice. These ice methods soar and pounce, laughing hysterically as the humanoids are targeted by ice missiles that crack loudly each time they miss and strike one of the frozen walls. You guys see that there are 4 of the people are already shackled to the wall, and 6 of these creatures are loose, chasing after all the rest of them. Alindra, you notice, even at such a distance, you can see the fog of the breath coming off of the 4 people chained to the wall. They are unconscious. They are not dead. You also notice it seems like the Mephits are toying with them rather than trying to kill them. However,
Right.
what you don't see is a giant or any ogres.
Well, regardless, I think we should free these people.
Say no more. And Briv is
this
just going
giant-
to run off into the room.
Aloth immediately begins casting. You see arcane energies flying around his hands. All right, fine to kill the Mephits, yes? Good.
Give me initiative.
16.
Actually,
Also
hang.
16.
All right.
19.
Lindra, 16. Havilar, 16. Briv, 19. Baloth,
19.
19. And Ariza.
A natural 20, which makes a 23.
Hey. All right. Perfect. Hang on. Let me arrange things. Ariza, you will be first either way. So what would you like to do?
So there's just methods all around.
There's 8 of them. Sorry. Wait, did I say 8 or did I say 6? Hang on. Let me double check. There are 6. There's a pending
six methods for humans.
How fast you get here
humans.
affects all of that. So yes, there's 6 methods and 4 trapped humans.
All
And
right.
they're all over the place.
So I guess there needs to be a method to my madness.
Thank you all
And-
for tuning in. That's been Idle Champions Presents. We'll see you next week unless we don't. Yeah. So
And with that, fantastic. Jacques. I am going to cast Scorching Ray, 4th level, with what's that? 5 rays.
okay.
The 17.
Let me double check something here. Sorry. I think 17 is gonna be enough to hit no matter what, though. Yep.
Okay. So that is 4. All right, so 4 on the first, 7 on the second.
Okay. Do you have to roll separate attacks on the raise, or is it or no?
It's a ranged spell attack for each ray.
Okay.
And then they take 2d6 with each.
Okay.
All right, so 4, 6. There's a lot of stuff happening with math, and I don't like it.
Yep. And also it's going to be Briv is on deck, by the way, and then
All right.
Baloth. Technically, you act simultaneously, but Briv will go. Yes. We'll go. Keep going. I got 4,
So
7.
6.
I got 4, 7, and 6 is what I have.
And then 6, then 7.
Okay.
So one more.
Mm-hmm.
And that one is 9.
9. Oh, did you have 5 rays or 6 rays?
5.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Got it. Perfect. One of them is unharmed. Otherwise, you have damaged all of them. And when you do this, Ariza, you see one of them, as they're like, I'll take this hit, turns and it looks at you and it starts saying something. do any of you speak Errand by chance?
It's a dialect of Celestial, correct?
It's kind of its own language though. But I mean, I'll give you the that you'll understand some words of it.
But
You
I
have Celestial?
Yeah.
don't.
I have Celestial.
I would have had comprehend languages up most likely, but it's all good. But if you have Celestial,
You
I think
get
Orin's a dialect of it.
the two of you that speak Celestial both get the distinct impression that it's kind of like, "Hey, what the hell?" It's kind of their reaction. Yeah.
We're really working on not attacking before we ask questions, but we're really working on it, but we're not there yet. So
I mean, we say as we get to Briv and Bailoff, yes, Briv, what would you like to do?
So Briv has been in a lot of battles. Just trying to, as I'm rushing into this place, do I get the impression that the 9 people or 8 or however many are left that are trapped, that they are being tormented? Are they in danger?
The humans are absolutely afraid.
Okay.
So give me perception.
Okay. Can I do insight, perhaps?
Yeah, you can. If insight's higher, you can.
Yeah. That is. I get the D6. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I rolled the. I've got my idol champions die here, and I rolled the beholder. So that's a 15.
That's Iris coming through for you there, darling.
Iris.
She's helping you. Yes.
Way to go, Iris.
Right. So what was the total?
It was only a 15.
The humans aren't faking. They're terrified. I mean, the ones that are chained to the wall are really unconscious. I will say with a 15, the methods are toying with them, but who knows? Maybe the methods are just getting off on the fact that they're afraid. But the humans are not faking though. They're very scared.
All right. This is quite the moral quandaries you're throwing me into tonight, B. Dave. But Briv is going to.
I'll give you one other thing. I realize Briv is not necessarily the quintessential thinking man, but I will give you either I'll give you history, Briv. I'll give you history. You never know. The dice might smile upon you.
Ooh, let's see if Iris shows up again. Not Iris, but a 5. So 18.
You are aware, especially being a paladin, you are aware that these creatures are, oh, hang on, wait, I think I picked the wrong creature. Sorry, I was like, that didn't make sense. No, that's the right thing. You are aware of these creatures are not fiends. They're also not devils. They're elementals, but they are usually evil.
Do I know
they look like fiends, but they're not.
Do I know if they're intelligent?
You could definitely knew that the one was just talking.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't understand what it was saying, but it did say something.
All right. Britt is a man of action, sometimes foolhardily. So for their positioning, how many methods are there?
There's 6 of them, and they're all over the place. I mean, they're chasing down the people, shooting at them.
Sorry.
How big is the room?
Huge. It's a very large room.
Okay. So is there any way that I can get more than 2 of them within 10 feet or so?
Yeah, I'd say you could get 2 within 10 feet.
Okay. So, all right, I'm going to position myself in that way, but in a way that is also not going to hit one of the helpless people that are trapped. And then I am just going to raise my arms up, Netherese explosion, and shards of metal are going to come out, and they need to make a dexterity saving throw of, let's see, what is that real quick? Sorry, 16.
Perfect. One other thing, Ariza, you notice your scorching rays put much bigger holes in them than you would have expected. And there definitely was like hissing and melting, like ice exposed to extreme heat. You've done this a lot of times, so you know how it's supposed to work.
I am going to, because I feel really bad, I'm going to cast Prayer of Healing.
Well, it's not your turn. I just want to say that that is something you were aware that happened.
Well, don't make me feel like it's my turn. It's all bad.
I accidentally tripped us into a wild magic zone, and we all reordered. So that was my fault, and I apologize. But
Time
we are in the wrong
rewound.
places.
Time can be rewritten.
What was what did you say was the save?
It's 16.
Oh, wait, hang on. There's only 2 of them.
Dexterity saving throw.
1 makes it, 1 does not.
All right, so the one that did not is going to take 32 points of piercing damage.
Let me ask you one quick question. There was one that was not harmed at all by Ariza. The rest of them were hurt just a little to being hurt a lot.
I picked the one that was not hurt.
Okay, perfect. 32 points?
Yeah, 32 points, and then the other one that succeeded is going to take half that at 16.
Okay. You see that one of them is like, it kind of like stumbles for a second. The other one, big chunks of ice have like come off of it. Like it is like barely held together anymore. Like you can completely see through it at different points. Is that it for Briv?
Yeah, that's it. The only other thing is I am going to move where I can position myself in a place between the people who are frozen to the wall the best that I can to try to cover as many of them as I can.
Oh, whoops. We got swapped around here. Okay. All right. Briv?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
can. Can you hear me? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I said a camera got turned off and everything got jankified.
Oh.
Okay. Anything else for
Yeah,
Briv?
that's what I was trying to say. We hit a wild magic zone.
Oh, got it.
It reordered us.
I was just saying that I'm gonna try to position myself in between as many of the people as I can.
Perfect. They are all actively kind of running for their lives at this exact second. But
Okay.
you can try and get there for them. Okay. Bailoth, it is now your turn.
All right. Now, what's are they in a nice grouping for a fireball?
They are not. They're all over the place, and they're interspersed with the allegedly innocent people.
Still, no. I don't care, but I sense that my coworkers would not take that well. So let's not cause any workplace friction. Now, Bailoth, of course, has a 120-foot range with his firebolt, so he's not bothering to charge in. He's basically firing from as far away as he can.
Okay.
And I think considering that these seem to be small fry, we'll just use a cantrip and just take a pot shot at one of them.
I would say you realize there are 2 that are particularly grievously injured. The 2 that Briv just detonated with his metal shrapnel, both of them look pretty bad off.
All right. Well, I'll pick one of them.
Okay.
And I will fire
Okay.
a firebolt. That is a 26 to hit.
That is enough.
Very well. And that will do 16 points of fire damage.
It shatters and the ice evaporates. Like it is heated to such a degree like no ice shards even hit the ground.
There's more where that came from, boys. You might want to think about surrendering. Except they don't speak common, do they?
If they do, well, they weren't speaking common to you. So if they understand what you're saying, they are not letting on.
Can I make it? No, that would be an action to actually intimidate them.
It would.
Okay. Yeah. So he's just a little bit of a battle bravado.
Perfect. All right. Is that it for Bailoth?
I think I can use sorcery points as a bonus action, right?
I think it kind of varies by type of sorcerization. Oh, there's one thing I left out. Briv, give me a 10. Give me a dex saving throw.
Be a 23 with my +6.
Just like your shards of metal came out and hit it, when it explodes, shards of ice come out and nearly impale you. You duck out of the way. You notice some of the villagers are like get hit by some of the flying shrapnel though, and like and like one of them falls and like very much like holds onto his leg as like a jagged hunk of ice is now sticking out of his leg.
That was my bad. My bad.
They turn around and they say something again. Do any of you speak Aquan?
So are we going with the primordial basis of it for elemental languages?
Same thing. If you speak primordial, you basically get the gist of what they say is something along the lines of, all right, bring it. It is the Mephit's turn.
So,
yes.
Question. So we've had Oren and Oquin. Both of those are they seem a bit strange for these creatures, right? That's not typical.
I think it makes sense actually, because Oren is air and Aquin is water.
Is the air creatures?
But they're a fusion. They're like para elemental, so they're like water and air makes ice. I think.
Yeah.
I think.
They're just showing off their extra languages.
These guys
see
practicing Duolingo.
One of them stops and holds his hands up, and a thick fog covers the whole floor, and you can't see any of the Mephits or any of the people anymore. Also, those of you that are sneezing, remember your disadvantage on attacks and your advantage on saves. Give me, all of you, give me 5 dex saves.
5 sneezing dex saves. 10.
Yes. Well, you have advantage if you're advantage if you're wait, hang on. Let me double check the sneezing thing. It's spell saves. This isn't a spell, so no, it's just straight dex.
Got it.
Straight dex.
So wait, all of us?
Everybody.
30?
Yep. 5 dex saves.
Okay.
27.
Really just tell me if you get under 16 or how many times you get under 16.
I did on my very first one.
Okay.
Oh wait, we're rolling that 5 times?
Yeah.
All
5 imps are setting off their ice breath.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I have Indomitable that I can reroll one of them, but since I failed all of them, I'm not sure if it's worth it.
If anybody's within 10 feet of me, you get +4 to this, but I did move a good bit,
you ran in for you.
Oh, right.
Yep. They're
so no bonuses. Oh well. I failed most of those.
I did as well.
All right, hang on.
The only one I think I didn't fail was the one that I am using my luck roll for.
I didn't fail any of them, and I got a 20 on the last one, if that matters.
Perfect. So hang on. So somebody write this down for me real quick. 5, 8, 5, 4.
Hang on, 1 second.
Oh, sorry.
5, 8,
5, 8, 5,
5, 8, 5,
4. Go ahead.
And 4. So that's all 5. For every one you saved, you can just take half of one of those. For everyone you don't save, you take the full amount.
13, 18, 22.
Ice
so if you
damage.
take it, yeah, okay, 22. Oh boy, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take the full, how much damage is it?
What was the total there?
I think it's 26. 26 for if you failed everything.
Yeah, if you failed all 5, 26. Yeah. Ice damage.
So then 13 if you made them all.
If you made them all, 13.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing so well.
That hurt a lot.
And when the frost goes off and they see all of this, you see all of them are kind of like, but that is it for the Mephit's turns because they all blew their eye. One was some in the fog cloud and the rest blew their ice breath. So they are obscured currently. And it is Havilar's turn.
So if they're obscured, can I not?
Because as a reaction, may I absorb? Sorry, as a reaction, may absorb elements.
Let me just make sure it actually is frost damage. But it's cold damage, so yeah, you can.
Okay, I'd like to do that, please.
Yep. You roll it and absorb that much of it. And what were you saying there, Havilar?
So if they're obscured, can you remind me? Does that mean I have disadvantage or I cannot?
You can attack. It would be disadvantage, but you already had disadvantage, Havilar, so YOLO, you know? I'm going to say if you roll a 1 on any of these attacks, you will hit a townsperson. Otherwise, it's just going to be a miss.
And then I guess I was going to see if I could do a sweeping attack. But if I don't even know where they are, that's probably asking a lot. Okay. So I will go ahead and just do a glaive. Sweep it through that fog, see what I get. So the first one is 18.
Even with disadvantage, an 18? That is enough.
2 8, so.
Hey, yep, that's enough.
Okay, and then the second strike is a 15.
That is also enough.
All right, and then we'll poke it with the back. And that one's going to be another 18.
That is enough. Yep.
So damage.
All 3 hits.
Don't look that up. Don't look it up. Just roll the damage.
Also, Alindra, you're on deck.
Okay.
So a 9, a 14. Oh. Sorry.
No problem.
It won't roll the thing. There we go. And a 3, or sorry, and a 7. So 9, 14, 7.
21 total.
Maybe. You're making me do so much math today.
You swing like into the fog, and you feel yourself crack something 3 times, like crack, 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 and you're like coming out of it.
I think there's muffins over here.
You hear something. Those of you that speak or kind of make out parts of it, you hear something about stupid squeaking barbarian coming out of the. They're saying, and Alindra, it is your turn.
All right. I think this is a time that a roll of. What's the layout right now? There.
Fog. You saw it was chaos.
Fog.
There was methods and people running everywhere, and then fog. So you don't know what the state of things inside of there is. And Briv is in there too. Briv's in the fog, and I guess Havilar is as well. Actually, she ran in and started swinging.
Okay. I suppose I will bless my friends then.
Okay.
I'll upcast it to 3rd level so I can get everyone.
Okay.
Wait, no, I only need to upcast to 2nd. Oh no. Yeah, I only upcast it to 2nd.
Okay. So everybody gets
I
blessed.
will bless everyone. Everyone is blessed.
Perfect.
We're all blessed by Okma.
And that's an extra D4 to
Can we
attack
do anything about this fog?
That's a D4 to attacks in saves, right?
Correct.
Briv kind of like shouts over to Havilar, she used to leave me out of this casting, but apparently she has become more powerful.
Oh, you've been learning. And you haven't insulted it recently.
Who you
Give me a
insulted? This
chance.
is amazing.
Maybe I'd only cast it at 1st level then.
You asked for that.
Perhaps I did.
You as you do this, you see after a couple of seconds there's silence, and you just hear the panting breathing of the commoners. Briv and Havilar, you also realize the floor down here is really icy. It's actually really hard to move, and you hear these people kind of like slipping and sliding around. And again, from now high overhead, you hear that coming from overhead now.
I'm looking up if I have the chance to do so.
It just looks like fog.
Can someone let out a giant breeze or something to clear this fog?
Ariza, it is your turn.
I have a giant fog.
Gust of wind would do it. I mean, the gust of wind, dispel magic.
Oh, how about? But that doesn't blow it away. Thunderwave.
Well, Thunderwave will get rid of the Thunderwave will get rid of the fog, but it also will blow through any of the mephits and any of the commoners and your friends if you do Thunderwave.
Ooh. Thunderwave.
I was about to say, it's not a no. You learned that trick from Melf. Like, you don't know. Boom, right? Yeah.
I remember. Oh, good times. Good times.
All right. Who's closest to me and not with me?
Alindra, Baloth, and you are all outside of the fog. Havilar and Briv and the commoners are inside the fog.
Oh, this is touchy.
Thou dost not know me, but if thou did, thou wouldst know that thou canst cast any spell that thou dost desire, and I will take it.
Enough about you. Let's talk about the spell, or dispelling, if you will, because that's what we need to do.
You can dispel magic?
And no, because I don't have dispel magic. You know what I'm gonna do? I am gonna try to walk through the fog.
You could walk into it. It's fog.
Well, yeah, but I don't know what's waiting on the other side. So I'm going to go out, but I can't go out with a weapon blazing because I might hurt somebody that's with me. So I have to go into this situation and just hope for the best.
You can't see your hand in front of your face. It's just pea soup. And the floor is very slippery and hard to move on.
So I'm just going to jump through the fog and try to make my way to where I can see something.
What's your movement?
I think it's 30, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is very slow going, and you never emerge from the fog. You all see Ariza goes down into it and is just in there. Okay. However, you still have an action. That's just movement.
Oh, fog on it.
Thank you for tuning in, folks.
Let's see. I am. There should be something I can do.
I love Dungeons and Dragons because something like just normal fog gets all of us completely on edge.
It's not
to
fog.
say this is normal, but I'm just saying, like,
it's not the fog that gets you; it's what's in it with you. Yeah.
Ooh. Wait, is everyone still hurt from that last go round?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Okay, sweet. Then I'm gonna take this opportunity to sit. And I'm going to sit and try to do my prayer of healing since I can't see about either way. Then I will sit, and it's up to 6 creatures of your choice you can see within range. Each regained hit points equal to 2d8.
You got 2 problems. 1, you can't see them in the fog. And 2, isn't prayer healing like a 10-minute cast?
It is. Shite. I can't see him. 99 problems, and fog is one.
Are the mephits up on the ceiling now, or?
There, you definitely heard voices coming from overhead. You can't see them because you're in the fog. Yep.
Ooh, why are you like this? I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
All right.
Because I have 11 hit points at the moment.
Yep. Nope. It's been rough on y'all. It is now your turn.
20 points restored, by the way.
Anything else for Ariza?
Just gonna restore my 20 points of damage.
Baloth, give me a perception check.
And that is a 15.
You notice you don't hear the mephits anymore. You just hear the people still crying and sliding around and huffing and puffing, but you don't hear the mephits.
Interesting. Is it my go?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I cast Dispel Magic.
The fog immediately evaporates, and you see the commoners are all basically laying, having slid and fallen. One guy taking ice in the leg and the other one's shackled to the wall. And you see a man looks up at you and he says, "What? You have to save them." He shouts through freezing tears. My friends, oh please, you need to catch up to them or the giants and the ogres, they're going to town. They'll ruin everything. They'll kill everyone. I know how you can reach the village ahead of Rindor. I can help you fix this. Please, let me help you fix this. And
Bear?
that is a good place for us to stop. Having gotten here to the giant's cave, but the giants and the ogres having departed to head down to Hornfirth, that is a good place for us to stop. So since we went over a little bit, I'm gonna wrap this up super fast. You would think by now I would have my document with who won the drawing handy, but guess who doesn't? Me. But I will tell you a couple of things that are definitely going to be important either way. I'm going to tell you the winners in a second. The Spring Extravaganza is coming to Idle Champions on March 31st. Stay tuned to the Idle Champions socials for more information. Also, maybe sometime soon you're going to find out what's up with that Flaming Mountain thing. I don't know. Maybe. Pirate Freely is available this Friday as a part of Hook Smite Freely Weekend. Come on. It's self-validating. It's piracy. It's my lucky boy. You know you wanted, people. Jen Kretchmer will be on Bardic Inspiration tomorrow, on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, March 23rd at 1 p.m. Pacific to write a song about Alindra with Jason Charles Miller. Hopefully we'll get a Briv song soon, hopefully. And the first vote of next week's episode starts now. You could do it now. Now, that being said, let me get my document where I can tell you who won. Hopefully the mods have already told you, but I'm building up anticipation. Mark Meir, stall while I get who won the thing.
Do you want me to do the, hey, I'm Mark Meir, and this is where you find me and all the things, or should I just fill time by talking and continuing the sentence I'm saying? Because I can do that if you want.
I can just hello, my baby. Hello,
my honey. Hello, my rectum. Yeah.
You know,
you can't do that when there's lots. Only when one person is watching.
That was actually masterfully done because now I has the document. So, the winners for this week are loading. Also, we announced Black Dice Society. There you go. Follow us today, the Black Dice SOC, because Society was too long to get in a Twitter handle, and you can find out what we're up to. I'm legit looking in the right place. I'm just waiting for the image to load. I have it. It's here. It's coming. Thank you, Jay and Sasha, our mods. Our winners are Benjamin Blythe, TJ Katz, and Caleb Roher. Benjamin Blythe, TJ Katz, and Caleb Roher. So, there you are. There you have it. And now we will tell everybody real quick who you are and where they can find you all. And we'll reverse it and go back around the horn this time. So we will start with you, Jen.
Hello, I am Jen Kretchmer. You can find me on Twitter.
Nope, you're good. You're good. It just took a second. I don't know why.
Okay. Okay. Hi, I am Jen Kretchmer. You can find me on Twitter as @DreamWisp. You can find me on Twitch as @DreamWispJen. I will be on Bardic Inspiration tomorrow. I am also on Heroes of the Plains tomorrow night on Demiplane. Also playing Alindra with Adam. Playing Briv. We adventure through the plains. It's really exciting. And B-Dave. Sorry, you're in DM mode. It's hard to. Yes, B-Dave is there as well, playing freely.
True.
I am one of the authors of Candlekeep Mysteries, which is in stores now. I am the creator of the Accessibility and Gaming Resource Guide, which you can find in my pinned tweet. And I think that's everything. We're going to go with that being everything today.
There's always another thing. Mm-hmm. Adam Bradford.
I am Adam Bradford. I am the CDO at Demiplane that Jen was talking about a little bit there. You can check us out at demiplane.com. And I will be there tomorrow for Heroes of the Plains playing Briv again. So check it out. Like, follow, subscribe in all the places like all the YouTubers say that are cool out there. Thank you.
Absolutely. Aaron?
You can find me on Twitter at Aaron M. Evans. You can catch me on Mondays at 11 with B-Dave and Trevor Bettis on Champions of Lore. And on Wednesdays at 6:30 Pacific on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers, where I play Cecilia, who's definitely not a warlock. And like I said last time, if you like Havilar and you want to know more, and if you want to know what exactly Sarche did that is so terrible, you should check out the Brimstone Angels saga. The books are easily available on Audible and as ebooks.
Brimstone Angels, go, go, go.
Yeah.
Mr. Mark Meir.
Hello, I'm Mark Meir. You can find me on Twitter at Mark_Meir, on Instagram at Mr. Mark Meir. I am going to be playing this week on the the Rock Punch Atlanta Twitch channel, and we are going to be playing Tolus, which introduces the classic setting to 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. It's really fun. We'll be having our 3rd session of that. I'm also on Stitch of Fate, a podcast by night, the Vampire the Masquerade podcast that you can find wherever you find your podcasts. New episodes of that drop every Friday. And I believe starting next week, I will be part of the Black Dice Society. Join us as we plumb the depths of Ravenloft, the domains of dread, under the guidance of Mr. B. Dave Walters.
It's a me. Christina?
Hi, my name's Christina Ariel. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Christina Ariel, KRYSTINA ARIELLE. If you spell it wrong, it's probably not me. So you can find me here because fun. You can also find me this week on a little podcast called Meet Cute, where I will be doing some voice acting and telling a love story about Dungeons and Dragons. So that's really fun. And also you can find me on Star Wars The High Republic show on the official Star Wars YouTube and StarWars.com. So do that, watch it, like it, don't read the comments. And I hope you all have a great day.
And me, B. Dave Walters. I will be back here at Idle Champions next Monday at 11 for Idle Champions Presents. Next Monday at 4 Pacific for the finale of A Fool's Errand. And tomorrow, Heroes of the Plains, as they said. Wednesday, Scoured Stars for Paizo. But Friday, we are going to be playing our Black Dice Society Session .5 for GaryCon. So you will get a little taste of the story and those characters Friday at 2 Pacific on twitch.tv/GaryCon Gaxmore. And then back Saturday again for more of the Gax pack, I suppose. We got extended. Our run of 3 got extended for 3 more. So we'll see where it goes. Just follow me on the Tweetagrams. I don't expect you to keep up with all that. I barely can, and I'm there for all of it. I'm at B. Dave Walters. So again, thank you, Codename Entertainment. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Jay and Sasha, our mods. And remember, log in right now to Idle Champions. Go vote, and we will see y'all next week. Okay, bye. Let's see if the end button's going to work.